Phenomena?
Do 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 do.
Phenomena.
Do 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 do.
Phenomena.
Do 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 do. And you may continue. This is Hecklefish at the Pork Chop Express, and I'm talking to whoever's listening out there. It's like I told my last wife. I says, honey, I never drive faster than I can see. Besides that, it's all in the reflexes. You just listen to the Pork Chop Express and take his advice on a dark and stormy night, all right? When some wild-eyed, 8-foot-tall maniac grabs your neck, taps the back of your favorite head up against the barroom wall, and he looks you crooked in the eye and he asks you if you paid your dues. Well, you just stare that big sucker back in the eye and remember what old Hecklefish always says at a time like that. Have you paid your dues, fish? Yes, sir, the check is in the mail. Well, you see, I'm not saying that I've been everywhere and I've done everything, but I do know it's a pretty amazing planet we live on here, and a man would have to be some kind of fool to think we're all alone in this universe.
That the rapture is happening. And for those who don't know, the rapture is...
A great song by Blondie.
No.
And out comes a man from Mars, and he tried to run, but he's got a gun, and he shoots you dead, and he eats your head. And then you're in a man from Mars. You go out at night, eating cars, you eat Cadillacs, Lincolns too, Mercuries and Subarus, and you don't stop.
Stop.
And you don't stop.
Stop.
Okay, sheesh, what a grouch.
The idea of a fake moon landing conspiracy really took off in the 1970s.
No, the 70s had the best movies, the best music. You got a nice beaver. You know how to do it. Do-do-dee-doo-doo. Give me that nice beaver. You know how to show it.
What are you doing?
Yeah, that song's gonna be stuck in my head all day now. Oh, you don't remember that one by the Bee Gees? Nice beaver?
Night fever.
No, night fever. That doesn't even make any sense. Well, what does he have, the flu? It's nice beaver.
It's not.
Well, if you spent as much time at Club 54 as I did, you know that nice beaver makes way more sense.
That may be, but the song is Night Fever.
Agree to disagree.
The After Files is streamed in front of a live audience.
I played Philippians in Area 51. A secret code inside the Bible said I would. I love my UFOs and paranormal fun, as well as music, so I'm singing it like I should. But then another conspiracy theory becomes the truth, my friends, and it never ends. No, it never ends. I fear the crap Caddy, I got stuck inside Mel's hole with MK Ultra, being only two aware. Did Stanley Kubrick fake the moon landing alone on a film set with the shadow people there? The Roswell aliens just fought the smiling man, I'm told, and his name was Cold. And I can't believe I'm dancing with the fishes. Hecklefish on Thursday nights, Wednesday J2, and weapons help me all through the night. All I ever wanted was to just hear the truth, so the one falls on repeat all through the night. The Mothman sightings and the solar storm still come to Agatha, the secret city underground. Mysterious number stations, planet Serpo 2, Project Stargate, and what the Dark Watchers found. We're in a simulation, don't you worry though. The Black Knight satellite, it told me so. I can't believe I'm dancing with the fishes. Hecklefish on Thursday nights, Wednesday J2, and the weapons have me all through the night. All I ever wanted was to just hear the truth, so the one falls on repeat all through the night. Hecklefish on Thursday nights, Wednesday J2, and the weapons have me all through the night. All I ever wanted was to just hear the truth, so the one falls on repeat all through the night. Cutie loves to dance. Cutie loves to dance on the dance floor because she is a camel, and camels love to dance when the feeling is right on waves in time. Cutie loves to dance. Cutie loves to
Thank you for watching the After Files live stream. This is not a professional production. We don't know why anyone watches this thing, but we're glad you do. And now, to kick off the show is everyone's favorite sidekick, the one, the only, Hecklefish.
Do 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 do. Do 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 do
All right, that looks good. You guys hear me down there? Thumbs up. All right, we're here. Oh, I gotta hang on. I gotta turn off the sound. I hear him over there going do do do. Hang on. Hang on. All right, I can't have Hecklefish in the back while we're trying to do this. I feel like it's been a while since we did an After Files. How are you guys doing tonight? How do we like that episode? And I said whenever I do a religious episode, I'll start getting hate comments about how I'm going to hell. Well, I didn't have to wait for those. Those happened right in the in the premiere chat. So feel bad for me and my soul. I'm headed that way. What's going on in the chat? Wow, I think we have do we have slow mode on down there, Jenny? She says yes. Okay, Julio says slam dunk of an episode. I appreciate that. Musta liked it. Lena, thank you. Very good. Craig Cody is here. Mike A, good to see you. Hi, Michael Yarusi. Terp Booley, loved the episode. Really missed the After Files. I missed it too. Has become hard on me and the team to work such long days on Thursdays. That's really all it is. But we're going to try to add some more live streams to the schedule, and some more Saturday watch-alongs if you guys like those. There's always a lot of fun. Good to see you, Charles Hayner. Remember, I know it's early to plug, but Patreon members get 2 live streams a week if you really, really like these. Can you hear that? Can you hear this chair banging against my desk? Oh, my goodness. I apologize for that.
You think this passes for a live stream? Think again.
Chrissy Avalon, excellent episode. Going to read the Book of Enoch. The Book of Enoch, it's a fun read, and it's a pretty quick one. Katel are asking if I'm familiar with Mount Ararat. I mean, no more than most people, I would think. If there's something specific you'd like to know or ask me, then go ahead and ask. And if I don't know, I'll certainly tell you. There are a few more locations for Noah's Ark that are out there. There's really 5 main ones. I covered the 2 that I thought were probably the best candidates. The Mount Ararat site that the CIA was watching, certainly, and then the Darupanar location, which looks like a ship. But if you Google map that area and zoom out a little bit, you'll see those shapes all over the place. But I was really disappointed with the research into Ron Wyatt, because all the negative stuff about him I didn't find until later in the research. So early on, I was excited reading all his stuff. But when I was researching him, I was focused on Ron Wyatt and Noah's Ark. So I spent a lot of time there. And then as I started to expand the research, then I saw that he discovered everything. He found the Ark of the Covenant, Sodom and Gomorrah, the blood of Christ, basically every mystery of the Bible he found and solved all of them. But to explore those, he needed donations. So that's how he made his living there. And the one guy that I used in the episode was, I think, the same person I mentioned who donated $30,000 to go on a Bible adventure, and then Ron needed more. What they were doing was, they were specifically looking for the Ark. Well, not looking for the Ark of the Covenant. Ron Wyatt said he discovered the Ark of the Covenant in, I think it was 1989. And then in the early 90s, the guy that I used on the episode paid Ron money to go to the location to see the Ark. And the plan was to go to the Ark and take video of it and bring it to the world. So they went there with a video crew and all of that. And then there were problems that they could, Ron said, we can't go today. We have to go another day. And then the weather's not right. And then finally they went down there where the Ark was supposed to be. And it was just an empty hole in the ground surrounded by just concrete walls or rock walls. And Ron said it was here. Maybe they moved it. And it ended up with this guy getting attorneys involved. And then more and more people came forward and said, yeah, I paid him a bunch of money to go to this site. There was nothing there. It was very, very disappointing. CV says, AJ, first drink in hell is on me. I appreciate that. We'll do cocktails down there. I just why though? Why do you have to be so religious is not the right word. But why does he have to send me to hell if I'm just a little skeptical? I mean, if you watch the whole episode, I didn't say there is no God. I'm not even sure if I believe. I wouldn't call myself an atheist. I said I hope there is. And I don't care which one it is, whichever your God is, if yours is real, that's fantastic. I can't wait to meet him. No checkmark games. Zealot is the term. Extremist, fanatical, radical. It puts me in a weird position, certainly personally, because again, I'm not religious. I don't go to church or any of that stuff. But if I'm going through a rough patch in my life and I'm not sure what to do, and I need to talk to somebody, and I can't talk to friends or family because I'm emotionally closed off and all of that, and I'm terrible in therapy. What I have done is I've gone to churches off hours a couple of times, and many times I'll just sit there in the quiet and gather my thoughts. But if there's like a priest walking around or people there, often at least 2 or 3 times, that priest came up to me and said, how are you doing? Is everything all right? And I would say, no, that's why I'm here. That he'll sit down and I'll just talk to this guy for a little while. And for some reason, I'm able to be extra honest. Maybe because it's a stranger that I know I'm not going to see again. I feel like I'm speaking to someone without judgment. And then I leave the church talking to this holy man, feeling better. So he would say that's the Spirit of God working through me, and that's cool. I might feel I just less burdened by whatever particular stress that is. So I'm not the atheist. I'm not the anti-religion guy. And the struggle that I have with the people in the comments is a lot of those folks, if you met them in real life, like very religious people go to church regularly, they're very nice people. I mean, they're very, very nice. But there's something about the internet, man. DA, those people are good. It's just the people that tell people they're going to burn in hell that are a bit Yeah, that's the thing. And when I say that the people who are religious that I talk to in real life are great, maybe those aren't the ones in the comments telling me I'm going to hell. Because those folks never said I'm going to hell. And Kronos, that's the kind of bartender I want to be. I worked behind wet bars for many, many years, and that's part of the gig is to listen. But when I'm listening as a bartender, I'm listening because I'm a human being, and I'm there, and I know it's part of my job. I want whoever's talking to me to feel better, of course, but I don't really care about their story. I really don't. No bartender really cares. You can't because you hear these stories 10, 15 times a day. When I'm talking to that priest at a church that I've never been into before, I feel like he actually cares. Like when I feel like I'm driving home or wherever, I feel like I'm still on his mind. Like he's going, that weird dude who came in today. I hope he's figuring it out. Like that's how I feel. I'm just reading the comments. So normally I'll just read them, but with this subject, I have to read a couple of words ahead to make sure that, first of all, I'm not going to say something, read a comment that's going to send any of us to hell, but also because I don't want to insult anyone. There are plenty of believers that follow this channel that are in this chat right now, and I do not want to impugn your beliefs. Kingpin, there is no heaven and hell. We just jump dimensions. I mean, that jives with a lot of theories. Certainly, if this is a simulation. Buck score. Imagine walking into a bar to find that AJ's the barman. I'd be drunk every night. You'd be welcome at my spot. I worked at all of them. I worked at the highest end nightclubs in New York, all the way down to the worst towny bars you could think of. I mean, some like the worst. one of the worst bars. Every other day, this dude would come in, and he would just he as soon as you walk in, you go, oh no, now I got to deal with this. He come into the bar. This is like a long thin bar, like strip mall bar. This is a long time ago. So it's a long bar. You walk in, and the end of the bar is kind of near the door. And where the bartender would hang back was sort of near the back, near the register, the pool table, the dartboard, all of that. So he'd come in and just start dumping meat on the end of the piles of meat on the bar, just meat that has been stolen from supermarkets and stuff. And that would be like every Tuesday, here's the dude with the meat. And the gig I had before that was a much sweeter bartending gig. I can't even believe that I have to clean up meat and drag this guy out by his collar. And it was one of these job situations that would hurt my heart, and it actually hardened me after dealing with it for a while. Because when I first started there at this place, this woman would come into the bar, and she was clearly insane. And I don't know if she was homeless, but she was older and troubled. And everybody in the town called her Mama or something like, oh, Mama's here. So I remember that it's like my first or second day, and I'm working with one of these old grizzled bartenders who's been there since the war or whatever. Mama comes in, and she sits down at the end of the bar, and he starts screaming at her. Just violently scream, get the F out, get the F out. And she's crying, and she's just begging, just let me sit here for a minute. And he's barking. He comes around the bar, and he starts handling her, and she's practically sobbing. This is an old woman, and he physically throws her out. And now I'm upset from seeing this. So he deals with that. Remember, it's a long bar. I'm at the back of the place. So I'm watching him come back, and I'm like angry at this guy for throwing this poor old woman out. And he comes back, and I'm like, dude, what was that? That's what we do here. We throw old women into the street. That's the thing. He said, you're new. You don't understand. She can't stay here. She said, there's nobody here. She's just sitting there. There's nobody here. There's the two dudes that are always here drinking coffee. Just, you don't understand. Okay, so I'm annoyed at the situation. Maybe, I don't know, a week, 2-3 weeks go by. It's at the point where my shifts, I'm just by myself now. I'm not being trained anymore. I'm working the bar. I'm closing shop, all of that. And then during my shift, Mama comes in, and she sits at like the stool at the end of the bar. And I remember that confrontation, and, my heart was so hurt for this woman. She's clearly alone. She's clearly crazy. And she's sitting there, and I don't throw her out. I walk down there. I ask her, how, are you okay? I get you anything? She's like, I don't have any money. I said, you want a cup of coffee, glass of water, a glass of tea? So I give her, a cup of tea. She's very grateful. And then she drinks the tea, and, I see her kind of moving weird or whatever. I'm not hanging out with her. I'm just kind of watching. I'm dealing with the customers. But I'm feeling good now because I let her sit there, drink some tea, and then she goes on her way. And then people start walking over there. They're looking around, and then I could smell it. The reason that Mama can't come into the bar is because she comes in there and she just craps all over the place. That's why she can't come in. That's why she can't come in there. So then I spent, how long it is to clean up like runny human feces from a bar? Oh my God. So then the next day, Mama comes in, and I'm like, Ma, I can give you a tea to go. You can't stay here. You can't stay here. So I get it. I understood that these other old bartenders have been dealing with this kind of stuff for a long time, and they were just sick of it. They didn't want to clean it up anymore. But now I'm the same way. I'm not going to shove her out the door, but I didn't let her get 2 feet into this bar. If there's bartenders in the chat, you know exactly what I'm talking about. They're just, you have your heart that goes out to these people. When you're a bartender, you see so much pain and so many people down in their luck. You really do. So you have that part of your heart that's aware of that. But then you also have the other part that's like, well, whatever they do in here, I'm going to have to deal with and clean up. Whether that's you crapping on my bar or, if you see someone getting so drunk that they're going to be sick, you're not cut off because we care that you're too drunk. We're cut off because we don't want to clean up after you. So get out of here. You have that part of you as the bartender. And I learned all these lessons the hard way. Another bar I worked at was with this other woman who would come in, and the managers always threw her out. I didn't know why, but it turned out that she was selling drugs in the back and she was turning tricks in the bathroom. Again, I learned that one the hard way. That was sort of my lesson. Moving on from bartending gig after that was when the older experienced guys tell you who's good and who's not, you listen. Murmurs, thanks for that. I'm glad you enjoyed the show. MX, she had a number 2 for the road. Marianne, or puke in the bathroom when the ship is underway. Yeah, I mean, when I worked at the hot spots, the good places, we had like bar backs and custodians and stuff. I didn't have to clean anything. You just make money. But but the bartending career is one of ups and downs. And when you're down and working in one of those spots, there's no bar back or custodian. It's all you and your security as well. Mighty, this is a weird story hour bar tale. It just happened. But the point of it, Mike, is that I have this part in my heart that's soft and believes all those things, and this part of my heart that's kind of more realistic and grounded and maybe a little harder. And that's how I feel sort of about religion. Popcorn's saying hello from Thailand. Good to see you. James J, what's wrong with magic tricks? Not a thing. Phil Collins wrote Mama about your story. I hope not. AJ, if you can ask the CIA director one question and know you get an honest answer, what would you ask? That's so hard because there's so many questions I would ask. The first part of my brain was like JFK, got to ask JFK. But it's so long ago that if I just get the one question, that wouldn't be the one. Would it be aliens? It probably something like that. I would probably want to know, tell me about the shadow government. That would probably be it. Would that be cheating? Is that asking too many questions at once? Is that asking the genie who gives you one wish for unlimited wishes? Is that what that would be? But it's clearly a hypothetical because the CIA directors will never, ever give anybody an honest answer, including Congress. New Sacred Cow, love that you're opening up and telling us more of your backstory. Well, I'm glad you think so. I don't hide any of it. As I've said on the stream, certainly on the earlier ones, the most honest I am probably in my day-to-day life is here with you guys. Of course, the wife gets the most of the honesty, but some of that stuff that's not for you. You don't want to hear about when I'm crying or any of that stuff. X Dragon, get all the answers. I wish we could. Trey Games, AJ makes a mean martini. I don't. If I've ever served you one, then you know that I have a nice pour. But it's been so long. When I was tending bar, I knew every recipe. I couldn't be stumped. I was the guy who I'd hold 3 bottles in each hand. I was the Tom Cruise cocktail guy, bottle tricks, all that stuff. But this is the last time I attended bar has got to be 25 years, maybe. Now I go into a bar. I don't know any of the. I look at the list. I had never heard of any of these things. I don't know what half of these liqueurs are. I don't know how to do any of this stuff. It's become such an art. When you're tending bar in New York City or Long Island in the 90s, it's just beers and vodka tonics for the most part. And Gino Pacina, your college years. A little bit. Asher L, what's your favorite drink? That's a good question. I want to ask the chat that question. Favorite drink, but all right. So I want to know your favorite drink. But if it's beer, don't bother. If it's gin and tonic, vodka tonic, don't bother. I want to know what's your favorite cocktail, and if you can fit it and it's tight enough, I want to see what it is. Because I'm always looking for something new. So there we go. All right. So Larceny Bourbon, Manhattan, Screwdriver. All right. So keeping it simple. Di Serono is your favorite drink, Brian. That's top shelf amaretto. Dawn Age Alabama Slammer. So I know from those drinks who the Gen Xers are. So Alabama Slammer. Yeah, I could pour that one with one hand. Those are the old SoCo and Slow Gin drinks. Guys, I don't even know if Southern Comfort is still a thing at the bar. Whiskey Highball. All right, Jay Butcher recently tried a Moscow Mule, very tasty. All right, so my favorite drink, it depends on what's going on. At the end of if I get home and it's going to be like I only have an hour to decompress, I need that no matter how late I get home. Like last night, I got home almost 1 a.m. after working 45 hours straight. I think I took a nap for like an hour in there, maybe. But I still needed an hour and a half. Like I couldn't just come home and go to sleep. First thing I needed to do was take a shower. But I still needed an hour and a half to unwind, like I always do. So if I have a short time, then I'm just gonna throw bourbon on the rocks and call her done. If I have a short time and I need to feel fuzzy, then it's going to be like Turkey 101 on the rocks or something like that. If I have a little more time, like maybe Jen's there, we're going to watch TV and we're still doing the bourbon thing. We'll do an old fashioned, maybe smoke it a little bit with the smoker. Last night, speaking of Moscow Mules, was a Hendrick's Mule. I drank a Hendrick's Mule. I drink that with like light ginger beer, so it's not so many calories and not so super sweet. Drink that a lot. And lately when I'm mixing, I've been drinking this drink the official recipe is called the JoJo. And it's something that I tried at a restaurant here in Vegas at Delilah's, which is a super fun place. It's like a supper club, live jazz, that kind of thing. And they had the JoJo, and I was blown away by how good it was. So let's see. The JoJo it's like 2 parts Lillet, which is like an aromatic French liqueur, vodka, and then there's supposed to be Prosecco in there, but I don't drink that. That's a little too sweet and bubbly. So I've been putting like Pomona mix in there. It's like grapefruit soda. So I've been drinking those, if I have a little more time. I've got a nice bar set up at home with all the things, but I'm lazy. Like I've got all the things. Any cocktail that you want, the stuff is probably there. Galliano is there. If that's what you're into. But I'm lazy. So we've got the great bartender recipe book there, and I'll go through it like, let me try something new. It's like, I don't want to do all this. Is this like baking a cake to have one drink? So then it ends up like just to splash the bourbon on, just get it done. Gin tea is great. Danny says tequila with a good aged coffee liqueur. That would be all right. There was a name for that I forget. It's tequila and Kahlua. Maybe there's bartenders in here. Slow Gin Fizz says Christopher. Oh no, Mary likes the Slow Gin Fizz. That's nice and sweet. Christopher Wallace goes Gin Fizz. Rusty Nail. Rusty Nail sometimes comes up in the rotation. That's Scotch and Drambuie. It's a good way to get rid of the cheap blended Scotch. You don't throw the single malts in your Rusties, right? Thomas Ritchie says mojito. There were those drinks that as a bartender people would order that you just People would ask for mojito. It'd be like, nah, we don't have any mint. So, like wherever I worked, the blender was always broken. You wanted a frozen margarita, frozen anything. The blender's broken. No, it's not broken. Oh, well, then someone please go break it because it's going to be broken during my shift. Armando goes whiskey sour. Catwell, Goombay Smash. I don't know what that is. Corrine Thomas, a B-52. Must also be a Gen Xer. There's a few different recipes for that, but B-52s are, that used to be, that was Bailey's and Kahlua, and then sometimes you throw a splash of Grand Marnier in there. So I don't drink that, but I will drink B-52 with the recipe I just said in coffee. It is tasty. El Cucuy, nothing's wrong with mojitos. I love them. I just don't want to make them. You have to crush the mint. Henny's house, LOL, this guy knows his alcohol. I told you I was behind the bar a long time. Narwhal likes a vodka gimlet. That's a legit drink. That's too limey for me because that's the Rosa sweet lime that goes in there. JK says blue Hawaiian. All right, that's cool. That's fruity. We used to make that with blue curacao. I don't even know if they make that thing anymore. Dustin Wilson says Long Island baby. So if we're out and it's kind of that middle tier place, like at Delilah's, I'm not going to order a Long Island. But if we're like an Outback or something, I will order a Long Island iced tea because all the booze is in there. It's even in a chain restaurant where it's a light measured pour, a Long Island's going to get it done. So yeah. So at my bar at home, I have pre-mixed Long Island. Jim Baker just came up. Someone wants me to see that. Oh, 14-year-old smoked old fashioned. That sounds perfect, Jim. Very nice. Lizzie for Freedom wants a Harvey Wallbanger. See, so that would work at my house. We've got the Galliano. That's why it's called that. Harvey Wallbanger is a screwdriver, vodka orange juice, and then the Galliano is that tall, skinny bottle that you've seen. It doesn't fit on the bar anywhere, so you always put it in the back. It hits the wall, so that's why it's called a Harvey Wallbanger because that's where the Galliano goes. Texas tea is a Long Island tea with a splash of tequila on top. That sounds good. Tequila's in the mix. So my Long Islands will have a Grand Marnier floater. I don't know if that's a name for that. Shelly asking, ever heard of rattlesnake shots? I have, but those might have changed over the years. That recipe is slipping my mind, but I think I used to know that one. If you want to drop it in there. A sidecar? You might be older than Gen X. If you're drinking a sidecar, that's a brandy drink. All right, Jason L goes with the Red Devil. So when everyone asked what is the strongest drink that you can make at once, Red Devil would be the one that I would make. Slow gin, Southern Comfort, amaretto, because that's the left side. That goes in. Vodka gin, tequila, rum, triple sec. That goes in. And then splash of OJ, shake it up, and it looks red. So that's called a Red Devil. That one will get her done. So it's basically a Long Island iced tea and an Alabama Slammer mixed together. Makes a Red Devil. Silk panties, I do remember that one. Crystal Sterling goes Greyhound. That's a go-to for me also. Vodka and grapefruit. Consultant goes Rusty Nail. Solid. Bulldog, Red Death or Kamikaze. I don't know Red Death. Kamikazes, Jen and I do know those. Remember those, Jenny? We had quite a few kamikaze shots in our days. What's the Casino Royale Bond drink? You have to be an old school Bond fan to know that one. But the original one was a Vesper Martini. So that would be, the original Bond Martini, the Vesper Martini, 2 parts Gordon's gin, 1 part vodka, only grain vodka though. And then half a measure of Lillet, which they don't make that Lillet anymore. And then it's shaken over ice until cold and served up. That's the original Vesper Martini. Here you go, unexpected. Unexpected knew that one. Dennis Brecky likes a White Russian. The old Caucasian. That's a nice drink. I don't get into a lot of the milky ones though. Vodka, Kahlua, and milk on that one. Singapore Sling, says Steven Garner. Yep, I do remember that one. That'll get her done. Jen's waving. You're all good down there? You want to move on? Okay, she wants to move on. All right, you know that part of every week, the show gets its own T-shirt. These are designed by SMK Rob, the official artist of the Y-Files. So this is the, what is this? What do we got going on here? Noah's Ark. Limited edition. Let me see if I can get in, because he always adds the coolest stuff. All right, so we've got Hecklefish's Noah, right? And there is the dove that Noah released that came back with the olive branch to signify that land has been found. And I guess he's landing there in the mountains of Ararat. 40 days and 40 nights. All right, so it's a 2x2 couples cruise, 40 days and 40 nights, an adventure of biblical proportions. Start your epic journey together in style. All right. Rob is the best in the business. So that shop@theyfiles.com is a great way to support the channel. Let me see if I can get this back. There we go. So shop@theyfiles.com. And I hope everyone saw the commercial that we did for the, I forget what the card game, Hecklefish cards. I'll bring those out later so you guys can see them. So people have been loving the slippers. They're fun. They're super comfortable. I think that's as cheap as we can make them, right? 35, because it's basically two plushies that you stuff your feet in. So those are fun. Let's get back to the main site. And the danglers, people are liking these. We used to call those keychains when I was a kid. So that's what those look like. 15. All right. We'll let that one go. So shop@theyfiles.com, great way to support the channel. Also, becoming a Patreon member is really our favorite way. It's only $3 a month, and you get lots of perks. Like the episodes come early. You get to see those early without the commercials. You get merch that's available only to members, and you get 2 extra live streams a week just for members. All right, let's do a couple of. We have a Gino Story Hour coming up tonight, don't we? We do have one. All right. Let's get a couple of super chats out of the way, and then we'll bring the team up and say hello. MX, where's Mr. Human? Dr. Human? Dr. Human he's probably somewhere in his evil lair. There is Rawhide Miss Kitty for 5. Merry Christmas to the entire Y-Files team, and thank you all making Art Bell proud. Please make a karaoke version of the Y-Files theme song. There is one. The karaoke version would be the one without lyrics. It's the song is with music on repeat by Victor Lundberg, and you could, if you just search for that on YouTube, you'll find it. You'll find it with and without the lyrics. It's on Spotify also. If you want the version, the Y-Files theme music version, you have to go to, I always forget his name, but I link him in the description. He's like superhero spaceman or something who did the theme for us, which I think is amazing. Quantum Sledgehammer, very reliable. Thank you for the $20. So there I was, minding my own business, listening to some yacht rock. It suddenly became clear all the secrets of the ancient world. Of course, it's all so simple. How do we not know? What was I just saying? That's good. You're drinking those margaritas, listening to Jimmy Buffett. There's Jonathan Inkin for £5.
Thank you, human. Maybe now we can get some indoor plumbing for this bowl. Ugh, it smells like a dumpster full of used baby diapers in here.
All right, that's enough of that. Do you believe in the Galactic Federation of Hecklefish? On a serious note, I love your show. I suffer from DMD, and your show really helps me find joy. What's DMD? I don't know what that is, Jonathan, but I'm glad that we're helping out. Jeff Wallace, thank you for the 20. Wow, you packed everything into this episode except lizard people. Or maybe I missed that. Great storytelling tonight, and I always learn something. Thank you. the lizard people could have been worked in if we did more of the Anunnaki angle. But we can't do those anyway. And again, the Anunnaki comes up, so now I have to delay that episode longer. Oh, pardon me, because I really want to do the Anunnaki episode. DMD is not Dungeons and Dragons, so that's not helpful. Dysphoric mood disorder. I've never heard of that, but it sounds difficult. Jen says no. She says that's not what it is. All right, she'll tell us what it is. Daniel Bonner, that's in the biblical account of Elijah, was taken by a whirlwind, not chariots. Chariots were there to distract Elisha, to break his focus on Elijah. A test whether Elisha deserved a double portion of Elijah's power in 2 Kings 2. All right, Daniel Bonner knowing his scripture. Beats and Meats, $4.99. The After Files is my favorite thing that happens on the internet. Well, I appreciate that, Beats and Meats, but I'm not sure why anyone watches this, but I'm glad you do. There's Julie MJ is there for 10.
Oh yeah, tip of the morning, human.
Hey, please tell me you're going to have the Hecklefish card game, a computer game application. Love the commercial to Hecklefish if he needs a Mrs. Pond. I am his girl. We are going to need some pond girls at some point, Julie. But I think Jen will be casting those. I don't think she's going to let me handle the casting on the pond girls. But Jen, I can tell them that the villain you're going to play, right? Jen, she's going to be the villain known as Platypussy. All right, I see Victoria applauding, so she likes that. So Platypussy will be making an appearance shortly. Computer game application. So the card game, I'll get those in a minute, will not be a computer game, but we are working on some things in that department for you. Card game, board game, computer game, that kind of stuff. We're working on some of those for you.
Oh, snap.
All right, I see I saw some lurkers down there. Johnny Shabazz, thank you for the 20 Canadian. Thanks again, White Files team. Honestly, the one show I rush home to enjoy. All right, drive safely. Appreciate that, Johnny. Paul is there for 10. It must be crazy to have more live viewers than total views 2 years ago. You earned every bit of it. I can't wait for what's next. Yeah, Paul, I don't understand. I can't believe it. I don't know what number we hit tonight. I think 67, 68,000 or so. That sounds like a lot. I think the first premiere I did was 50 people. And I was so excited. So it's nice to see almost 70,000 on there having a good time. Dwight, White for 5. The best episode yet. Cheers. Intro is great. Family Ties is next. Family Ties is definitely coming soon. And thanks again for covering up for us cryptids. It hasn't gone unnoticed. I appreciate the support. Envoy's there for $19.99 in recognition of the outstanding Chariots of Fire bit. Wonderful. Hashtag Vangelis. I mean, you have to be of a certain age to even know that song, I would assume. She's doing this slow motion run. Dun, 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 dun. She's doing it down there. There's Mama Slater for $9.99. Hecklefish was extra spicy tonight. Love the show. Keep up the great work. Thanks, Mama. DSDRN, very reliable. $99.99.
Won't you spend money on me? I'm really broke, swimming here in my bowl. I have to pay 3 ex-wives, spousal support for the rest of their lives. Those hobbies, lawyers, they cost me a ton. I think they're bleeding me just 'cause it's fun, baby. Guppies, take all of my dough. Now 2 knee braces, here comes Skid Row, baby. Won't you consider tipping? Won't you consider tipping?
Can we discuss what's on the board behind you? Is that a photo of Weird Al? Congrats on 3 million. That is a photo of Weird Al. I'm a huge Al fan, and I have been for a long time. Gino and I got to see him during his probably his first tour ever in 1983, when Al must have been just maybe 21 years old. So we saw him at the Bottom Line in downtown New York on his Rocky Road tour. And I've seen him many, many times since then. I know I've said this on the stream before, but if you're even a semi fan of Weird Al, you've got to watch one of his live shows. They're a ton of fun and very highly produced. I think the last one Jen and I went to, he had a full orchestra behind him. It was bananas. So yes, that is Weird Al. Buzz Darkin and the Mastiffs for $10. Thank you for an amazing episode. While the Mastiffs and I may come to different conclusions on a few things, we love you and your team and always have you in our prayers. Keep telling great tales. Well, thanks, Buzz. I appreciate that. Buzz, very reliable patron. Bobby J108 found the channel same time last year. Amazing to see y'all hit 1 mil. Then glad to see you hit 3 mil now. Cheers to another milestone and more to come. Keep up the great work and know you are appreciated, as you are, Bobby J. 3 million. I never saw it coming. Never ever saw it coming. Tamber in the chat says, we love Weird Al. Hubby got to see him when Astro World was open in Houston. Wow, that had to be fun. Alan saw him fall off the stage in the 90s. Oh, that's terrible. Poor Al. Jimmy, that episode's coming. Promise. Takian Universe. Hecklefish is what AJ can't say on YouTube for the sake of the algorithm. Could be. Could be. But I mean, the algorithm still hears it, right? There's Mike D for 21. Sing to me, fish. Only because you never have. Thank you, me, Jen, Victoria, Gino, and the entire Wi-Fi's crew for a great 2024. You too, Hecklefish. I appreciate that support, Mike. Antonio, in 1983, what were you, 5? I was older than that, but I appreciate it. Blackbeard, very reliable for 5. That was an excellent Wi-Fi's episode. I'm glad you enjoyed it. It was a lot of work to put that one together. Handy Bunny, JFK assassination, got to have your take. To keep it short and quick, President Johnson and the CIA. You know, off the top of my head, there's, a ton more to go into with that. But I'd say Johnson and the CIA had that taken care of because JFK was looking to dismantle the military intelligence complex. And boy, would have been nice if he did that. Thought on fire for 5. I believe that the introduction of the planetoid moon caused the cataclysm at the end of the Younger Dryas. So perfectly orientated. Planetoid moon. I'm not sure if I know that theory, but I'd like to learn more about that. But it certainly could have been something that happens periodically, is my fear. But as you know, solar activity really scares me, and we're going through a patch of it as we speak. Arbco Wizard for 5. Thank you, the Wi-Fi's crew, for a great show. Well, thank you for supporting, and look at that avatar. Just tell you, would you ever look into Alan Dulles and his running of the CIA? I'm probably would talk about the Dulles brothers on the podcast because it's an interesting story. People don't realize how connected that they were to Hitler and the Nazis, and that as attorneys they were defending them in the early days, and then became director of the CIA. 7, Heather 7, 1999. What I love most is that y'all have the open mind to approach your topics. I'm a person of faith, and I appreciate your thoughtfulness and care of this topic while still putting your Wi-Fi spin on it. Well, thanks, Heather. That means more to me than you know, because I know that people of faith watch the show, and I try to be very respectful, but I also try to be very honest. So that's why the hate comments bother me, because it's like, man, I'm being so nice and respectful to you and your faith, and you're really making me miserable. Eric Bishop, 99.99.
That's crazy.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Human. I want you to know I said human. Thank you for all the dough tipping. As I'm sure you will find, always
Yeah.
it's
He put it up
a
there.
good time.
Go into the.
Fun to tip the FISH. It's fun to tip the FISH.
Great episode. My faith is not strong, but it's there. I'm co-forced in something my friend said. I'm co-forced in something my friend says that this isn't all just a test. Love everyone. As usual, little extras in the till to get just one more pallet of Diet Coke for Jen. Thanks so much, Eric. Appreciate that. Jen, how are you doing tonight?
I'm hanging in there.
You're hanging in there?
I have a little bit of a migraine issue going on, but I'm
Oh.
hanging in there. I'm here.
Good. When she starts speaking in tongues, we'll know why. How are you doing, Victoria?
I'm excellent tonight. Thanks.
Oh, and the mic is working and everything.
Woo!
All right. Appreciate that. Victoria, what do you think about Platypussy as our Bond villain?
That's amazing. I cannot wait.
Oh,
She'll nail it.
Boucher. Gino, what do we got coming up for Gino's Story Hour today? All right, Gino's on mute. While he figures that out, we'll say hi to Simone, Freckles, and Josh. Those are the two guys who put that pond episode together. How are you guys doing?
Gang, gang.
Doing good. How y'all?
Good. Where are you at? You at the warehouse?
Yeah, we're
Space.
just chilling in the cold and dark warehouse.
So you guys remember when I spent basically a year working out of the crap hole warehouse while we were getting the studio together? I couldn't wait to get rid of it. And then these two knuckleheads went and visited and thought it was the greatest thing ever. They live there now, which is crazy. But then they converted it into something amazing that I think I may want to switch back. So
No.
it's something that we can.
It's got potential. Give me a couple months.
It definitely has potential. Psychoholic is there for $5 Australian. Which of the alphabet organizations are you most worried will come knocking at your front door? CIA only, because they run the whole shebang. CIA only.
I would have went with one that began with an I for myself.
Gino's there. Gino, you mean ICE? You're worried they'll find out that you don't have your green card?
I'd be happy for them to knock instead.
I know who you're talking about. I'm not even going to say those letters on the air. We
It's
don't
like
need them to
calling
even.
the crab cat.
Yeah, we can't pay attention to them. So what do we got coming up for Gino's Story Hour tonight?
Tonight we're doing a good one. It's on witches and curses.
Witches and curses. Okay, Wes Green is there for $10. Had a procedure done today. Can't wait to leave my place for a week. Going to rewatch all your eps. All right, Wes, feel better. I also had the penis reduction surgery. Don't worry, you'll be on your feet in no time. Lex, Corey, 812 for $25. Another great episode. How about an episode on the Council of Nicaea? It'd be hard to. I'd need to find the story there. Council of Nicaea is they helped put together the modern calendar. Is one of the things that happened during Nicaea. I'd have to find some more stuff there, but it's certainly interesting. I appreciate the suggestion. Eric Berg, nothing to say, just money in the till.
It's my kind of guy.
My kind of guy as well. The Man Renaissance is there. Matt Stark, $20. Great episode. As a Christian for years, not offended at all. Love the episode. Just want to let you know you are appreciated as you are, Matt. And I'm glad you're out there. Darsana Bloodmorn says, "Oh, hell to the no, Gino. Don't be talking bad about me. She might be a witch. She might be a Wiccan."
I'm not even saying anything bad about witches. I might be on her side.
You know, if you knew Gino, you'd know that he is into witches. What do we got? There's Matt Chambers for $5. My kids, Lexi and Bennett, love Hecklefish. We watch every week. I appreciate that, Matt. Teach for $5. You guys down there at the warehouse, this is what we do for the most part.
Oh,
I love it.
All right, cool. Teach for $5. Great episode. Totally nailed it. Glad the After Files is back tonight. Can we get a podcast about the ISG that took over in 2008? I would like to talk about some of that stuff. I was gonna mostly keep quiet on the podcast about things that get too super political. But then the movie Civil War comes out, and then maybe we got to get involved. Phil Beck for 10. Do you think that it's a coincidence Göbekli Tepe and Noah's Ark are so close to each other, and that Göbekli Tepe was intentionally buried? I don't think that's a coincidence. You know, I didn't really talk about it, Phil, whether I think the Ark is real or not. I think of all the stories, I think the Ark is probably, I lean toward real. I don't lean toward it being Noah, because that story had existed long before, you know, Epic of Gilgamesh and so forth. But I lean toward that it was there. I wouldn't call it a coincidence so much, because everything happened there. Everything happened in Turkey and the Fertile Crescent, and between the Tigris and Euphrates. That's where civilization was. So all this stuff is going to be in the same place. But I appreciate the support. There is Strife David for 20. You guys are one of the happiest things I've stumbled upon this year. Keep up the good work and never stop asking why. P.S. Best episode yet. Well, I appreciate that, David. We will never stop asking why, because we'll always need new content. Joe P is the official beard of the Y Files for 5. Whenever we go in the end, I hope there's an After Files. That's where I want to be. Another amazing episode. Thank you, Y Files team. Thank you, Joe. Joe is a longtime supporter of the channel, and look, he's the best reason to join Patreon. Is you get to talk, you can talk directly to Joe and his beard, because on the Patreon live streams, it's this, like, you see our stupid faces, the team, but your stupid face is also up there, and the stupider the face, the more we want to see it. Is that fair to say, Jennifer?
Yes.
Stu Farrell for £5. Hi, all. Great to have After Files back. As for the Mount Ararat site, what if the Ark in the Bible was based on that, like a lot of myths based on natural sites? Well, those mountains were the Ararat Mountains, so, or the Urartu, or whatever they were called. What comes into question is Mount Ararat itself, because it was an active volcano that, in my research, seemed to be fairly young, like maybe wasn't so much of a mountain during the time of the flood. And even if the Ark did land there, that mountain has erupted over and over and over again since that time. There wouldn't be anything to find there. But the mountains that mentioned in the Bible, those are real. Davina Weaver for 5. Great show. I'm a Christian. Doesn't bother me if you have questions. Bring a healthy dose of questions about everything. Keep going. I appreciate that, Davina. It's very important for me to hear that from people of faith, because I do not wish to offend. Kayla Lee Friant, $2. Great episode. Please say hi to Lily, my daughter. Hi, Lily.
Hi, Lily.
Lils.
There is Zeb Francis. He is the super fan of the Y Files. Oh, yeah.
Get it.
They see me swimming in my waist. Send me money, cause you know that my bowl is dirty. Cause you know my bowl is dirty. Cause you know my bowl is dirty. Wanna smell my bowl, it's dirty. Come sniff my bowl, it's dirty. My poop is nasty. It's floating. Please tip me, cause you know that my bowl is dirty. Cause you know my bowl is dirty. Cause you know my bowl is dirty. Wanna smell my bowl, it's dirty. Come sniff my bowl, it's dirty.
Now, you boys down there didn't know that Hecklefish can drop rhymes like that, like a villain. Drop it, just drop rhymes.
Now that we know, we're dropping an album.
Yep.
The plan is those guys may do an attack Hecklefish rap, but if they do that, Hecklefish will do an answer rap.
May do that. We're about halfway through it.
We're like in it.
All right,
Yeah, the vocal booth is right there. It's ready to go.
The vocal booth is ready. Gino will remember when UTFO went Roxanne, and then Roxanne Shante came back. Jen remembers that? You remember UTFO versus Roxanne
I remember
Shante?
UTFO. That's not fit. That needs censors upon censors. UTFO did. Whoo!
And John Wood said, Hecklefish can spit bars. Zeb says, Y-Fan, fantastic episode, all caps, love the rap, and I agree. Pretty sure you're safe. Ignore the BCchers. Religion misses the point. But if you're worried, I think I'm allowed to bring friends. You're not going to hell. Well, thanks, Zeb. I don't think I'm going to hell. And that's not saying that I don't think there isn't one. There may be. But if there is, I don't see why I would go there. But if you forced me to list a few things of why I could go there, there is a list. There's Paul for $5. Can we take a moment to appreciate how awesome it is that the crew are turning out for videos like this every week? It's amazing, and we're lucky. Well, we're lucky to have you out there, Paul. Paul is a big supporter of the channel. The biggest financial supporter we have. Mm-hmm. All right, this one I don't get. Eric Bishop, 1999. I want to apologize for that chat. Yeesh, that was embarrassing. Also, Victoria, order the pizza. You're all good. What did Eric do?
He made a super chat that didn't make much sense, and because of typos.
Oh, and I was struggling to get through it. That one?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, when Jen is texting me during a migraine, I know she has a migraine. So I'm like, what? I don't even know. My keeper doesn't even make that character. What's the O with the line through it and the 2 dots under it even mean?
Don't feel bad, Eric. I can't even read.
I'm like texting you in Norwegian. You know that there's something going on.
Something. There's J to J. The answer is 42. That's correct. That's the meaning of life right there.
Good movie.
For nerdy Douglas Adams fans. A Buckeyed Soldier recommending Jen get Botox for the migraine.
I need to go. It's time.
Is it time? It's time to reload the Botox?
It is. I can raise my eyebrows. So it's time to go get it done again.
Yeah, we can't have you having lines above there.
No.
Sometimes she gets it a little too tight, though.
Only that one time.
Because, like, Jen, do your angry face. Do your happy face. Waggle your eyebrows.
Yeah. Good work.
Yes.
Maria Ortega, 1999, another great production. Well, I appreciate that. The Blue Dot for 5, great show tonight. How about inviting Randall Carlson to talk about the Tunguska event or Asteroid Day? When the podcast is ready for conversations for guests, Randall is on the short list. I'd love to get Graham in. Definitely would love to talk to Randall Carlson. I'm a big fan of his. Robert Schock would be another one that I'd love to talk to.
Can I talk about the podcast for a second?
Please.
So after the first of the year, we're going to be doing like these Friday free-for-alls, basically. And I keep saying it's going to be like a cross between Coast to Coast and Joe Rogan. So we're going to have guests on. We're going to talk about news articles. Sorry, it's hard for me.
No, I'm enjoying it.
Is somebody playing? Oh, you're playing ping pong in the background. I was like, what is going on?
Go ahead.
So that's going to be on Fridays, and we're very excited about it because it's going to be live. We're going to have guests. It's going to be fun. Yes, Seamus, my thinker is borked right now. That's what's happening.
Poor migraine, Jen. Victoria, you get them as well?
Often, yeah. Pretty bad.
People who get migraines have said that if you don't get them, you don't understand. Because I don't get them, so I just think it sounds like a headache.
No. It feels like a knife deep in your head.
Yeah, and I get like the aura. So I had one in a meeting one time. I thought I was having a stroke. Like half my face went numb and like wouldn't move. Like they're bad, but right now it's okay.
All right. Well, the Botox will take care of that, I hope.
Yeah.
Here's Mark Payne for 10. Everybody wants to be the bouncer at the pearly gates.
That's true.
I don't know if God needs a bouncer. He seems to be pretty capable. So if St. Peter's like, yo, we got trouble. God's like, I got it. Casey Campbell for 5. Whoa, was that a skinwalker behind that bottle of ranch? I have a bet with my boss, and I need to know if I was right. Love the episode. Is that in the store? That piece of art?
It's in the hallway.
No. We haven't done the episode yet. You show our
yet,
artwork.
But yes, it's a bottle of Skinwalker Ranch. Is what that is. Crybaby 63, $50.
I get pretty freaky. He's a super freak. The kind of fish you dream about. You got freaky dreams. I get pretty kinky. He's a super freak. But only if you pay me. Gotta pay the fish. I need a tip. I need a tip. I need a tip from you. And you. And you, human. You and you and you. Hit the stupid chat. Hit the button now.
Hey, I love to tip all my best dancers. Well, you got some good ones down there. Jokes aside, Ep was great, and I enjoy my merch and watching. Keep it up, and team. Well, thanks, Crybaby. I hope you got the Hecklefish cards. $15.
Ready for it.
Crab cat.
I'm just checking out the chat. Music Sperry, when is the Skinwalker episode soon? When? I don't know if that's going to be that soon, is it?
It's whenever you agree to write it.
Yeah, it's going to be a long, hard one.
I have the power.
Victoria. Think for a second.
I give up.
Before you talk.
After chat.
All right.
I put a sock on it.
I put a
sock on it. List. I'm going to have a long list, aren't I?
Yeah, that Scorpuana's correct. So I don't know if that episode might be too long and hard for Victoria. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, an unexpected fire. AJ being a bartender makes so much sense. I don't think it does. I don't think it makes a lot of sense. Because working with the public, yeah. I'm not what you'd call a social butterfly.
No, he's not. He's not.
Chris wants to know, do crab cats wear camel toes?
Depends on what they identify as, I guess.
That's a good point. I think the camel toe slippers are coming though. We're gonna make Gertie camel toe slippers.
Yes, we are.
Because everyone deserves to have a pretty camel toe. God bless.
Thank you.
Petrao. Brother, anally chance you are a CIA asset.
Anally. Yeah,
anally, maybe yes.
Let's keep the anal jokes behind us, Pedro, shall we? Yeah, if I was, I couldn't answer that. But I appreciate the tip. Sarai 407 for 5. Love to hear more about the tribe that knew about Series B. There's more, I feel. That's the Dogon tribe. There's plenty to learn about them.
They are fascinating.
Fascinating. I thought Jen was going to expound, but she's just fascinated.
No, I mean, what's so fascinating is they're one of the last tribes of people on Earth that eschew, that's a hard word to say, all modern day technology. They don't have TVs. They don't, they're still very tribal, and they don't have interaction with the outside world. And they know so much stuff about astronomy and just science that you wouldn't know. You wouldn't think that they would know about. I was reading about them, and I was just like, "Oh my god, that's amazing!" Anyway.
Yeah, the Dogon tribe. Yeah, there's plenty to learn about them. Fascinating. Someone in the chat asking if I'm gay. The answer to that is I'm not gay, but I'm willing to learn. You had me in tears over here. No. It's a Stripes joke. It's a Stripes joke. That's before your time.
No.
Patriotic AJ stands for Agent Johnson. Jen adding to the Van Allen belt expertise. Now adding the dog onto your repertoire.
Yes.
Terabie fan willing to learn. Now it's a scene from Stripes. Which I guess if you haven't seen that movie, it's a weird answer. But it's before the Don't Ask, Don't Tell. So the guys, they're sitting there, they're being interviewed by the recruiter to go into the military, and they're just going through all the questions. And the thing is, he asks, so are either of you gay? And Bill Murray goes, flaming? And because he's just joking with him about it. He said, well, we're not gay, but we're willing to learn. And that was the joke. Like, if you need us to do that to join, we're in. Deus and John Candy. John Candy was great in that. C. Williams, that's the fact, Jack. All right, so people remember that movie. That's one of those films that Mom took Gino and I to when we were way too little to see it.
Oh.
That's fact, Jack, says JJ. Yep, that's the one. Step of Faith. Yeah, Jen didn't look amused because she has never seen the movie.
It's not that. I was mad that somebody in the chat asked you if you were gay.
All the time.
I don't.
There's a whole Reddit thread about how I'm closeted.
I know the Reddit thread says that I'm like your beard and I just need to leave you because I don't understand that you're just stringing me along and wasting the best part of my life lying to me about the fact that you're gay.
Bro, these are real things.
That's a real Reddit thread about that. And then there's the other thread where I'm a misogynist. I hate women, and Jen is clearly an abused wife and needs to get out of the marriage, but she needs to find a way to get out, and I need to look internally and address my hatred.
And I need to get over my abused spouse syndrome, and yeah.
She is not abused.
No. No.
So there's a lot of I get a lot of hate on Reddit, so which is why I don't go on there anymore. But fans of the show and certainly mods and patrons, and especially Victoria, they get pretty defensive on there. So there's plenty of people on Reddit that have my back, and I appreciate that. Colonel Carbine loves the channel. I'm glad you're here. Vicious says, blink twice if you need help. I don't know who that's for. Patrick, the Anunnaki episode, it's I really want to do it. It keeps coming up every week. Anunnaki and the flood every time.
Yes.
Robin D says CMEs and solar flares do not heat the earth or melt ice. I need to read more into that because Robert Schock thinks it was a solar event. So maybe it was CMA. Maybe it wasn't a flare. Maybe it was something else. Well, William thinks that AJ and Jennifer are a beautiful couple.
Oh,
well, thank you, William.
And John Cave, he said it best. I love you folks, gay or not. Right?
Well,
that's
right.
It. We're just all people. John, AJ, blink twice if you need help. No, I'm good. Doors locked. Yeah. Doors are locked. The Earth Hound, is Gino abused? Yes, he is, but by no one here. I heard Jen actually kidnapped AJ.
I did.
Metaphorically.
I kind of did.
Jay Frey, AJ, are you a flaming genius?
Somebody said we should make a Hecklefish Zippo. I love that idea.
Oh, that's a cool idea.
Yeah.
Ed C's got $10. Super solid show. Thanks. Well, thanks, Ed. I appreciate it. Well, you know what time it is.
Yay! Giveaway time. Woo!
It's giveaway time. What is going to be the word?
Well,
Flaming genius.
Yes, that's a good one.
Gay.
People were wanting you to use camel toe, but I think that will get flagged by the.
That might get
system.
flagged.
Yes.
All right, the word is flaming genius. Flaming genius, flaming genius. So if you're new here, here's how it works. Just type flaming genius as one word in the chat, and we'll let that run for a little bit. I click draw, and then one person is randomly chosen, and they win, I think, they win a hot oil massage with Victoria.
No.
Right, but only from the knees down, right? Is that true?
No. They win a $50 gift certificate to the Y-Files store.
$50 gift certificate to Wi-Fi store. But if they want Victoria to shave them or anything, is that an option? An add-on? It's an add-on?
No.
No. It's not like a Groupon?
No.
Okay, so there's no hot oil or shaving in this particular one, but I am working on that for you.
Well, there is.
Well, how about instead of maybe what if they shaved Victoria?
No.
Okay, I'm just brainstorming. I'm just workshopping it.
What do we come into?
There's the Gino barbecue sauce foot rub.
Okay, I'm ready to step in. I mean,
Well, yes.
Okay.
We'll rub.
Give
your
it to the
feet.
willing.
Yeah.
All right.
I use like a little hickory with it.
So you get a barbecue sauce massage from Gino, and you can choose hickory, mesquite, or flaming hot.
And then you'll get a meal afterwards too, with some sauce on it.
Whoa.
Maybe a dry rub.
Yeah. Y'all have a problem with me.
Look,
I don't have a problem with you, Victoria. You are an endless source of entertainment.
Endless source.
I love it. I carry around index cards and I write down Victoria-isms as she says them, and I just keep them.
Flaming genius is the word. J-Miz, flamolingus will not work. I'm sorry. That's not going to do it. Flaming barbecue feet is wrong. I'm sorry. That it's got to be flaming genius. Flamingo genius is incorrect. Blaming genius is funny, but that will not work. Flaming genius is the word. Flamingo Gino is not going to get it done. Flaming genitals, no, that won't work. But they do make a cream for that.
Nice.
Flaming platypus is incorrect. And yes, I understand that if you're doing the dry rub, that you could certainly lubricate that. We get it. Flaming genie is wrong. Tony Dangler is incorrect. Flaming moose knuckle will not win. I'm sorry. I'd love it to win, but it will not.
Those are good.
Hecklefish needs to sing "Hold Me Closer, Tiny Dangler."
Oh yes.
For the keychain.
Okay. We'll remember that. Unacceptable flaming anus will not work, but again, there's a cream for that. I should know. I own it. Flaming flamingo offlander speaks is incorrect. Flaming Flanagan is wrong. It's flaming genius, one word. Funnelingus will not do it. But we'll get a couple of super chats done in the meanwhile. And we've got Raygon LOL for 50.
Yo, moo la la. Yo, fish really need some money. I need to buy some stuff. Fish really needs some money. YouTube don't pay enough. Fish really needs some money. So click the super chat. Like that.
What is that?
Hello, thank you for the S tier content. And S tier. It's S tier. Is that
S tier super. It's top.
This top?
Yeah.
Premiere.
All right.
You gotta watch the tier list videos on YouTube. That's.
I don't know how that works. I got the old man recommendations in my algorithm. The S tier content and the amount of effort you put in. I'm looking up your Patreon right now. You've consistently provided the best storytelling around with consistency. Your blood, sweat, and tears is not going unappreciated. Well, thanks, Raygon, LOL. I appreciate that. And becoming a Patreon member is the best way to support the channel, by the way. So for $50 is an amazing tip. You can join Patreon for almost a year for that. Flaming Seal Fetus will not win, Mikey, but that is funny. I'm wearing my Magic Seal Fetus shirt now. Are you also wearing your Mel Soul shirt, Gino?
No, tonight I'm Soul Recycler.
Soul Recycler. Okay. And you can get those from shop.thewifiles.com if you didn't know that. Flaming Genie Anus was not going to work.
Talk about my shirt.
That's me about my way, you know.
All right, hang on. Roswell debris disposal unit.
Established 1947.
It's there, 1947. All right. Fellas, her eyes are up there. Flaming Jeans is wrong. Mel's Flaming Hole won't win, Martin. I'm sorry. Norwegian Blue just going with Farfignugan.
Nice.
I haven't heard Farfignugan in forever.
With the umlaut.
Awesome.
With an actual umlaut. All right.
Very impressive.
Well, danke por das. We appreciate that.
Hell yeah.
St. Jacob, I was just reading her shirt. Sure you were.
I was holding it up.
I know. At least you do that in the early streams. I mean, I had to delete half of them because she wouldn't hold them up. She would just stand up. And then the chat would have... They were clearly not looking at the shirt.
Well, you did not help with your comments. So...
Yeah, but look at the size of those bazoombas.
Stop it.
Amir Habibi, just $50 and a lovey happy face. We appreciate that, Habib. Flaming Dingus will not work. Flaming Bazoombas is incorrect. Finer Anus, says Lucy.
Hell yeah.
I like that one.
You like Finer Anus?
Yeah, it's classy.
If you can't, just keep looking. So you got about 1,200 there, Jenny. Do you want to draw or do a couple of super chats?
Well, let's draw and then we can do it again.
We'll draw and then we'll do it again, but after we do Gino's story hour.
Okay.
All right, here we go. This is fallopian fungus, Corey. That's not even close. Fallopian fungus.
That's horrible.
It's scientific right there.
Yeah. Man's a
That's
genius.
terrible.
They probably make a cream for that too, though.
They do. Well, you'd probably actually ivermectin would probably work for that.
Try to make a Planned Parenthood trip for that one.
Uh-oh.
Whoa.
Yeah,
All
True
right.
Life. I'm not allowed to call those milk machines anymore. I get in trouble. So that's why I don't say it. All right, here we go. 12:32. There's Ryan, Maria, Tom, Jason, Carmen, Becky, Eric, Blueshai, CJ, Brandy, Jason, JP Youngmuna, Tiplon, the Thrilla, Carol Williamson is the winner.
Carol!
Oh, yeah, Carol.
Yay!
Carol Williamson. So, what does Carol have to do in order to get the foot massage?
In order to get the $50 gift certificate, come to Discord and put in a ticket, and we'll get your name and info and get it all right to you.
But she doesn't need to include her shoe size, right? We're clear on that.
Right.
Good.
She does not.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, we can guess. All right. So the winner, Carol Williamson. Make sure you go to Discord, and I'll put the link in the chat. If you're not on Discord, you should check it out. It's a lot of fun. Flaming Carol Williamson. That's not nice. She's our winner.
Carol.
Way to go, Carol.
Let's go, Carol.
Woohoo!
Respect, Carol.
Respect.
Oh,
Oh,
you know what that means.
Tell me something I don't know.
Where's Gino? There he go.
Tell me something I don't know. Where's Gino? Oh shit, where he go? Jet setting, betting at the regular scenes, worldwide.
So we got Gino's Story Hour coming up.
He's the one who bears big bushes.
Our boy Josh down there, I think, did the edit on this one. You cut this one, right, brother?
Yeah, that's who, and yeah, it's true, 'cause that's a dude he cares about. He brings around them vibes and this what's up.
All right, Gino, are you gonna drive?
Yeah, I think we're just pulling up and press and play on this one, but this is an interesting one. It's a different, it's sort of different than our usual Gino Story Hours. Again, they got some witches and some curses in it. When I heard the story, it was really interesting to me because it is something that we are sure happened, but of course, the jury's out on what the full details are. So here we go.
I don't know if it's been proven a hoax. I mean, I think it's one of the most important pieces of evidence there is.
Oh, that bass drop, love it.
Yeah.
Tonight on Gino's Story Hour, for your consideration, we have the curious curse of Christopher Case. Once upon a time, in a world where culture was driven by music, rock and roll, grunge, and hip-hop were all fighting for the top spots on the chart. The year was 1991, and Nirvana, Pearl Jam, U2, and A Tribe Called Quest all put out blockbuster albums. On the opposite side of that coin, there was the most hated music of all time, what we were all forced to listen to in the elevators and dentist appointments we went to as children, Muzak. Muzak was an instrumental cover of soft rock songs. With a universally hated reputation, it was time to breathe some new life into their brand. The company found their star, a new program director. His name, Christopher Case. He was a former radio DJ from North Carolina. His life was music. Besides modern music, he had a passion for ancient music, specifically Egyptian. Christopher excelled at his job, but not so much in his private life. He was 35 years old, he was intelligent, he was confident, he was a health nut, he worked out daily, but he was a recluse when he was not in the office of the gym. Although he was considered a catch, he wasn't much of a ladies' man. He'd rather be at home listening to music than out partying. In April of 1991, Christopher flew to San Francisco for a work convention. While attending a networking dinner on April 11th, he'd met a mysterious woman that caught his attention. She was a beautiful woman, about 20 years his senior. This woman shared his obscure interest in ancient Egyptian music. These two peas in a pod hit it off instantly, according to Christopher's work associates. Throughout the evening, they continued the conversation, but she was more flirty than he was. He continued picking her brain about ancient music. However, she was more interested in getting him back to her place to check out the albums in her private collection, if you know what I mean.
Oh, yeah.
He politely turned her down multiple times, steering the conversation back to music. She continued the advances aggressively, and his creep meter was now on full alert. Christopher knew it was time to wrap it up. He tried to be polite and use the excuse that he had an early flight in the morning. Do you know that saying, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned? As he says goodbye to her, her agitation of being turned down comes to a boiling point, to which she announces to him and all that were within earshot, "You are going to regret ever turning me down. I am a powerful witch, and you will be dead within a week's time." Vexed by this hex, he quickly dips out the back way, avoiding making a further scene in front of his smirking colleagues. After flying back to Seattle, he calls his friend Sammy Soda from back east. Sammy was his best buddy and confidant. She laughs about the odd encounter, joking with him that his dating life was always cursed anyway. Christopher wasn't one to believe in the paranormal or the occult. However, that would all change within hours. On the night of April 13th, 2 days after he dismisses the witch's flirting and cursing, something odd starts happening when he lays down to go to sleep. Christopher hears from his kitchen a whisper. As he lays there trying to comprehend what he's hearing, he realizes it's getting slightly louder. Now he's wondering, has someone broken into his apartment? He has no pets. He can't typically hear his neighbor, so he leaps out of bed to investigate. With adrenaline pumping through him, he runs to the kitchen. Silence. He can't find the source. Then, more whispers. He grabs a steak knife and he goes over to the laundry room, and he listens with his ear to the door. When he begins to hear the ominous whispering again, he throws open the door, knife in hand raised like he's Norman Bates, and slashes into the thin air. The only thing he's cutting through is silence, as the whispers ceased. Then from the periphery of his vision, he sees the shadow of someone bolting across his apartment. Christopher runs back to catch the intruder, but the shadow man vanished. Like a parent trying to make a scared child feel better, he checks under the bed. He opens every closet. He turns on every light. He makes sure that the doors are bolted. He's confident that he's alone. Then the whispering starts again. This time it's coming from his bedroom. Seconds later, he sees another shadow moving from across the living room. He's amped up, but he's not particularly scared because he's a logical person. He spends the entire night running around his 2-bedroom apartment chasing down shadow demons and witch whispers. I'd hate to live downstairs from this guy. Morning breaks and he's on zero sleep. He picks up the phone and then calls his buddy Sammy again. This time he's not yucking it up about the cursing conjurer. He's calm, but concerned and questioning whether he's hallucinating. Sammy, not sure what advice to give, assures him he just needs to get some sleep. On the 15th, she gets another phone call. This time, he's really spooked. He tells her he's been able to see the shadow people better by walking towards them but not looking directly at them. The whispering also continued throughout the night, although he could never find the source. At this point, he's on no sleep for 48 hours. He promises Sammy he'll get some sleep. That night, he is dead set on just closing his eyes and shutting out the whispers. Sammy tells him he should call the cops, but Chris didn't know how to explain to them what was happening without sounding like a crazy person. Christopher drifts off to sleep quickly. He's awakened abruptly in the middle of the night. His room is dark, and he's paralyzed. He could only move his eyes back and forth. The whispering starts again. First outside his room, then from his closet, and then from right underneath his bed. Then from out of the darkness, a figure emerges and wraps his shadowy man hands around Chris's throat. Chris is lifted off the bed by his neck, gasping for breath. Hanging in the air, the invisible intruder choke slams him down on the bed like he's the Undertaker at King of the Ring. He's still paralyzed, and within seconds, he passes out. When Chris wakes up the next morning, he realizes it wasn't all a nightmare. There's blood all over his sheets. And upon quick inspection, he sees that his neck is all bruised and that there are razor-like cuts on the tips of his fingers. He knew he needed help. He heads down to his local religious bookstore and he says to the owner, "I need a dozen crucifixes dipped in holy water, stat." When asked what he needed them for, Chris replied that he was being attacked by supernatural forces. Taking him seriously, the store owner upsells him on a few books on how to fight against witchcraft. Now Chris is gearing up to battle, Frog Brothers style, picking up boxes of candles and as much salt as he could carry. Chris gets back to the apartment and starts setting up his lines of defense. He hangs the crucifixes on every wall in the house. He sets up the candles. He pours a salt border around the inside and outside of his apartment, preparing for a battle against the forces of evil. He rifles through all the books, making notes in the margins. Then night comes. And for all this prep, nothing helps. His shadow stalker is unfazed by the salt, and the candles just make more shadows to torture Christopher. He's had enough, and he leaves to sleep in a hotel that night, but the whispers follow him. The next morning, Sammy calls him again, but there's no answer because he's at the hotel. Since there were no cell phones, she just kept ringing and ringing his apartment. Helpless from across the country, she calls the police and asks them to perform a welfare check. When the police arrive, there's no answer at the door, but everything they could see looks normal besides the mountain of salt on his doorstep. Peeping in his windows, nothing seems awry, so there's nothing that the police could do. The next day, Sammy comes home from work to a message on her answering machine from Christopher. She's happy to hear his voice, but it's different this time. He's calm and reserved. He sounds defeated. He tells her that he's under attack, and tonight he feels like Mr. Shadow is coming to kill him, and there's nothing that he could do about it. Again, Chris doesn't answer any of her calls after that. The next day, April 18th, Chris failed to show up for work. Sammy makes another call to the police, frantic, this time begging for them to make sure they connect with Christopher. This time, officers found his apartment door unlocked. Candles were burning everywhere. They discovered the walls covered in crucifixes, salt lines on the floor leading up to huge piles in the corners. There was ripped out pages of religious texts with handwritten notes scrawled all over them on how to ward off evil. It was like they walked onto the set for the music video, "I'll Be Wrapped Around Your Finger," only instead of finding Sting, they found Christopher, fully clothed and kneeling in a praying position, lifeless in his tub. Despite days of supernatural attacks, the medical examiner ruled that Chris had died of natural causes. Officially, the cause of death was ruled myocarditis, an inflammation of the heart. The coroner's report speculated that this could have been brought on by his own fear coupled with his workout supplements. Sammy and Christopher's other friends knew better. Something sinister had clearly terrified him to death in that apartment after the curse, though no one could explain exactly what happened. Since there were no signs of foul play or forced entry, the investigation was quickly concluded. This would not be a murder case, and was closed without further investigation into the week leading to his demise and the mysterious woman who predicted his death. So did Christopher scare himself to death, or did the witchy woman's curse get him? And that's the story of the curious curse of Christopher Case. This week's story is brought to you by CavemanCoffeeCo.com.
What?
Get 20% off all your coffee needs by using...
Wait, hang on.
Well, you know...
Well, hang on. We got a spot in there?
You know.
Well, he's a sponsor.
Oh, all right.
Promo code the Y Files.
People are loving that Java 51 blend.
Are they loving that? Are those shipping yet, or what's going on?
Yes.
Oh yeah, those are shipping.
They're shipping.
I mean, I got to tell you, this was a fun one. I probably took 16 takes on trying to say the word periphery.
Periphery. That is a tough one.
But again, big thanks out to Josh. He did a great job on it. I couldn't do this without him.
Amazing.
That was great. That was great.
Nicely done. Professor says, "Flaming Caveman Coffee Co." That's not going to win.
Oh, that was good.
People in the chat, I mean, they're missing the ums from the story hours.
Yeah, I'm not getting enough people drunk on the bingo scorecard.
Yeah.
That was a good story. And you look, were you more comfortable this week?
Yes.
You know, I can't really tell the difference myself. I could see every flaw and I could hear every word that I struggle to pronounce. So, you know, it's okay. Everyone's critical of themselves. Now that looks a little manic. I don't think where you got me stomped is the best portrayal. That's a little better.
There you go. No, that was fun.
People asking what's in Gino's pipe.
This week was amazing.
Yeah, that was good.
That was good. All right, Gino's story hour. There he goes.
Now, if you guys are sick of seeing Caveman Coffee, I'm open to new sponsors. Send them my way. Come on.
Tell me.
Reiki Co must have just watched the episode. Get Jesus in your life. Parentheses, all caps.
I love the way I hadn't seen this episode before I watched it tonight. I love the way you ended it.
Oh, thank you.
With the Caveman Coffee Co.
Really good.
Thank you.
Not you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Oh.
Jenny, do you believe in hell and heaven? Do you believe in an afterlife?
I do, but I don't know. I don't know what form that takes. Like, I think a lot of people get irritated. Like, I think people get fussy with you because a lot of people, not a lot of people. Some people turn to religion because of the fear of what happens after death. And so when someone challenges that, it makes them defensive. So they hold on to it really, really tight. I just know that because of energy that can't be created or destroyed, and we are energy.
But hang on a second. back up to the faithful. You wouldn't consider the Y Files disrespectful to?
Absolutely not.
Then,
Absolutely not.
Then why get defensive? Why proselytize? Why try to convert?
I think that some people feel that it's their calling to help people move in the right path. I think that there are some people, whether you're talking about religion or politics or pick a topic, it's very hard to, especially when you're very set in your beliefs, it's hard to listen to the opposite side if it challenges those beliefs. You have to have a really open mind to hear other people's point of view. And then a lot of it is just the freaking internet. It just, people like being behind that wall where people can say anything, and you never have to look at how it affects the other person.
Well, Heather thinks that was well said. I agree.
Thanks.
So you think that everything is energy. So when we pass on our energy, it rejoins the great field, or?
Well, we talked about, you've talked about this before, how people have like soul groups where from one life to the next, you continue to find like the same soul group. And in one life, it may be somebody that's your mother. In another life, it may be your sister. In another life, it may be your best friend. But, those soul groups always end up finding each other. I love that idea.
I do too.
Somebody says, waves those hands like an Italian Wendigo. Yes. It's both of those. It's all of those things.
So we have an episode coming up on sort of what Jen's talking about, the soul groups. There are a series of books that I really enjoy by Dr. Raymond Moody. One of them is the books in general talk about where the soul goes in between, because you've got all this information, all this content about what happens when you die and what happens when you come back, or all of that. But his stuff is about what happens in between, from the moment of death to, if you believe in reincarnation, like where is that and what happens there. So we have an episode coming up, probably might be next week's, right?
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
So we'll talk about that. So what Dr. Moody, and he was a therapist. He might have been a hypnotherapist. So his research comes from people who have experienced these things, is that everyone is energy, and we are individual souls with our own free will, but we're part of this great soul energy. And our purpose here is to come to Earth, experience happiness and joy and pain and suffering, and learn from that and bring that information, that experience back to all of that energy. And during those journeys of coming back over and over again, we tend to find the same people. So the soul group is when you're in between, your soul group is 8 people, 12 people, something like that. It's a small group. And you always find each other on Earth. Most of you end up together. Maybe part of your soul group is your mom, and next time around, she's your daughter. Next time around, it's that wacky uncle, or your best friend, or your mentor. It's just, you always tend to find each other. And I think there are people that I've encountered, but very few, where I suddenly feel like I know them. I think that, and for me, who's not a social person, who tends to stay away from people, when I find someone and I click with them really, really soon, it's for someone like me, it's shocking. Like someone maybe like you, Jennifer, or Gino, who have tons of friends and are around a lot of people, maybe it's not so shocking. But for me, who's always with a small group of people, when I click with someone or I just feel a connection with someone, it's very shocking.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a very social person, but there are people that I've met throughout my life that I just for some reason click with. And that's, I mean, I think, that's sort of what you're talking about, because
right, like
everybody's like that.
Right. For the most part, I don't think love at first sight is a thing. But if you happen to hit that person is in your soul group, then for you it may be exactly why it's love at first sight, is because you were already in love 100 times or however many times.
It's nice.
So we'll talk about that a little bit, I think, next week, right? With near-death experiences
The week after.
Week after. Yes. Because next week, just so you know, next week is sort of our Christmas week break. We're taking next Thursday, but we're going to do another watch along. So like we did on Thanksgiving. And then AJ is also going to live stream on Christmas Day. I'll be around as well. And then we will have the near-death experiences episode the Thursday after Christmas. Because, good Christmas topic.
Allergy girl. When I met my husband, it was love at first sight, and it was real. We're approaching 31 years of marriage. You two are in the soul group. That you're in your soul group. So you've been around. You've done this before. Robin Masters, do a show on 21 grams. Pardon me. Referencing the experiment where after someone dies, they suddenly become 21 grams lighter, implying that the soul actually has weight and mass. So yes, that 21 grams experiment will be part of that episode.
Yes, Hecklefish is in AJ's soul group. That's very true.
Probably not. Ed C, thank you for the 10. Super solid show. I appreciate that. There's Mark Anthony for 40. Just want to let you know that you are appreciated, as you are, Mark. Couldn't do this without your support. I gotta find the good ones. JPML for 10. Amazing video and hilarious ad as always. Merry Christmas to the Waffle House team. We work really hard to make the sponsor stuff funny, especially for our own products. But if you have to sit through an advertisement about debt consolidation, I want that to be fun for you, because I have creators that I follow on the platform that I'm huge fans of, but once they hit that sponsor read, oh my God, it comes to a crashing halt. Forward. So we try to let you have fun. Go ahead.
And this one was crazy because we write the scripts, then we have to turn them into the brand for approval. And I just kept throwing camel toe jokes in this script. And I was like, I don't know if they're actually going to approve this one. But yeah, they did.
They approved it.
They did.
Nice.
David Jacobs, tip 2112. So you know what that means.
A modern day goldfish lives in style, but you haven't tipped in quite a while. My money is all spent. You haven't tipped a cent. I gotta pay my rent, or I'll be living in a tent in Portland.
David Jacobs, 2112. Always amazing. Love you guys. Hey, if I make an big enough donation, can I buy dinner with Hecklefish? I mean, I'm inclined to say, yeah, every man has his price. I don't know what his is. It ain't $21, but I don't know. But everyone's got it. David, I appreciate that. Jenny, you want to read some super chats for a couple of minutes?
Sure, I can do that. You got to work on your Philosopher's Stone. There you go.
Yep.
All right. There's Paul, always reliable, as AJ would say, for $5.
Always reliable.
Always reliable. If you ever go to Ireland, order a black and tan. They love it. I think he's being sarcastic there, but I've not been to Ireland, so I don't know. I used to hate making black and tans when I was bartender. Ugh. UT Tracy for $20. One of the best shows ever this week. Also a great ending. Thank you very much, Tracy. I agree. I loved the ending. I was watching by myself in the living room and I went, oh, that's awesome.
I think that says editing.
Oh, the editing was great too. I appreciated the editing as well, but I loved the ending. So that's probably why my brain thought that it said that, or, the pounding. One of the two. Thank you, Tracy. Carson Jones, $9.99, just says super sticker.
Woo.
I like that too. Just throw up that super sticker. Look at your avatar. Tough guy. Got like the Rocky look going on with the beanie and then the cigarette hanging out of the mouth. Nice. Spare Parts Express for $9.99. Your studio looks amazing. Thank you. We're really happy with how it's coming together. Still working on it, but we are getting there for sure. So thank you for the $9.99. The Combat, does that say Carl? For $10. Hello from the Great Lakes. Well, hello to you. As a merchant marine, I love all things nautical themed. Any Bermuda Triangle episodes?
No. Next question.
Peace and love. That's not at you. We have an internal argument about the Bermuda Triangle episode, along with a Titanic episode, along with a Skinwalker Ranch episode, along with Oak Island, along with Bigfoot. We'll end up getting them. We'll get them. David J. Oh, we just did that one. Thank you, David Jacobs, again.
He's gonna have to read it.
Jermail Peterson for $15. Can I make suggestions? How can I make suggestions for future episodes? If you go to tips.thewifiles.com, Victoria's going to put it in the chat right now. You can send a tip. Is that AJ? Did he just peek his head in? He's supposed to be working on his Philosopher's Stone. Now,
my office is as good as any place.
That's funny that he's peeking in behind all you guys. If he peeks in behind me, I'm gonna crap my pants because I am not at the studio with you guys.
Jenna. So weird. Jenna, I'm not sure crapping your pants helps the Philosopher's Stone.
It doesn't. It doesn't. But it would freak me out. You would just see me like, yeah. Yeah, that would be creepy. All right. So yes, tips.thewifiles.com. Tips.thewifiles.com. James Hopkins, $50. Have a great holiday and look forward to what y'all have in store for 24. Well, thank you, James. Have a great holiday yourself. I hope everybody is having a good holiday season right now. There's a lot of crap going on in the world, and I just hope everybody's doing okay. But come hang out with us on Christmas because we want to hang out with all you guys. Cheapest big spender, $5. Oh, by regeneration, do you like it or not? Thoughts of what they did for the 14th Doctor. Seeing Wilf was the best moment of the 3 specials for me. I won't get into it too much. Wilf was awesome. I haven't seen all of them. I don't like the by regeneration because it completely goes against the canon of Doctor Who, and that's all I'm going to say on that. Melanie Sim, thanks for $5. Love your show. Thanks for the great After Files program. Well, Melanie Sims, we love you. And thank you for being an After Files program participant. We appreciate you.
What are these?
Oh.
Go Hecklefish.
Go Hecklefish. Go Hecklefish.
So go to thewifiles.com/cards and pick up a deck of Go Hecklefish cards. They're super fun. Every card has got a unique design. If you follow the After Files, you'll get all these jokes. Like if you just watch the show, like people who just watch the show, when they get the Mr. Naughty card, they're going to be like, "What? What is a Mr. Naughty?" You know what? I'm gonna go get Mr. Naughty.
Oh, we miss Mr. Naughty.
Right. Mr. Naughty.
Jenny, do you want to maybe tell Mr. Naughty's origin story?
Okay, so I like giraffes, and I collect giraffe things. And that he is holding is, I hate to even say what it's called because then people are going to make weed jokes, but it's called a bud vase. You put one flower in it.
Put your weed in it.
Put your weed in it.
One flower.
Give her one second.
Joking. And AJ picked it up one night during a live stream, and he's like, "What is this?" And I said, "It's a vase." And he's like, "Oh, Jen's lying to you. It's a
marital aid.
Aid.
You put the batteries in there, and this is what we have home at my house. We put the batteries in there, and we call him Mr. Naughty. So Mr. Naughty has cards in the deck, Gino, you had one?
Yeah. Peeking in.
Oh, there he is. There's Mr. Naughty. It's like, man, I try to keep the plug short, and I'm over here shuffling cards. Sakoy 29K, is there a Gertie card? There isn't yet, but there's going to be.
Yes.
You know, she wasn't involved in the show by that time, but
yeah. So we started working on the card game back in like May, April, something like that. And so Gertie wasn't March. So Gertie wasn't part of the show.
So Fred Redbean says, so it was a vase, but AJ perverted it.
Yes.
Bingo.
Kind of.
Welcome to the After Files.
That's right.
Christian asking if it goes longer with battery. Yes, it certainly does. You don't need it, but it helps. Mr. Naughty goes bzzz.
No.
Okay. Yeah, it's just a vase.
Just a vase.
How about one more drawing? Do we get Melanie Sims, who loves the show and said thanks for the great After Files program?
We did.
Captain's log, star date 10/09/46.44. The After Files live stream has proven itself once again to be extremely unprofessional.
Well, 14,000 people would disagree with you, Mr. Shatner.
Oh, hang on a second. It was drawn from. We want a different word, don't we?
Yeah.
Sure.
Marital aid.
That's a good one.
All right. Marital aid is the word.
Yes.
It kind of looks like Marita laid.
It does. That's all I saw.
Marita laid.
It looks like Marita had a great weekend.
Oh my God.
So if you type Marita laid in the chat, Marita laid, one word, Marita laid, in a little while we'll click draw and we'll randomly choose someone to win.
Marita laid.
And what do they win? They win one corn and or bunion removal from Victoria. Is that correct?
No. Jeez.
I don't know why you want to turn Victoria into a podiatrist or a chiropodist. This is not what she wants to do for a living.
Could the winner maybe have her deal with an ingrown toenail?
No.
No. So no foot issues at all.
No, none.
Okay. But if you have varicose veins, she will nothing. Okay.
No.
So then what happens
No
if
medical conditions.
What happens besides getting Victoria's phone number for a 30-minute conversation? What else do you win?
Well, you don't win Victoria's phone number. But
Okay.
what you do win is a $50 gift certificate to the Wi-Fi store.
And on the store, can you buy anytime with her or no?
No,
Only merch. Okay.
we don't sell Victoria at all.
All right. I just wanted to be clear. That's all. I'm just want to be clear.
We leave that to Wayfair, wasn't it?
Yeah. All right.
In the meanwhile, there's
Whoops.
it's no it.
I was trying to remove myself so I could go. Hi, everyone.
Remove yourself so you can do what?
Work on my Philosopher's Stone for a moment.
Okay. Well, there she goes. Hi, I'm from Brazil. I really like your show. Thank you. Well, thanks. I'm glad you're here. I appreciate the support. We couldn't do this without it. And thanks to everyone super chatting tonight. It really helps keep everything going. Everyone who's buying merch, joining Patreon, and super chatting. That's what keeps this channel moving. Battle Miss for $6.99 Canadian. We made it a tradition to watch the live files every Thursday. Great channel. Well, I'm glad that's a tradition. That sounds fun, mostly.
Reminds me of Must See TV when we used to get together with girlfriends and do that. So
Must See TV. That was Thursday nights on NBC, wasn't it?
Yep.
There's Heather. She's back again. Hear me out. Cute little guppy camel hybrids all over the world, over the back of a T-shirt that says, "Who's your daddy?" Then hecklefish on the front. What do you think about that, Victoria? You're writing it down?
Writing it down. You never know what Rob could do with that.
Dude, but here's the thing. There's never been... We don't know if the two of them have ever...
No, we do not know.
We don't know. As far as we know, there's just an odd friendship there. I don't know if he's ever,
We don't know.
We don't know. But Heather, she's writing it down. So I guess that's part of our production meeting tomorrow. Is do we do the bestiality shirts or not? Jessica LaPlante, thank you for the $49.99. That's very, very generous of you. Ryan Reagan is there. Fantastic episode as always. I feel awful. I only found out about the show last year, but I'm glad I did. It's one of the only shows I make sure I watch weekly. James Pond ad was the best thing ever. Well, thanks. I'm glad you found us, Ryan. And the James Pond ad is thanks to those guys down there.
Mm-hmm.
Pugman99 for 10 Australian. Hello, love to AJ and the misses and the fush. Oh, and the stuff. And there's a kissy. And what is that? Oh, is that like a weightlifting? What's happening there?
Your eyes at the staff? What the heck?
Who is it? That's Gandalf holding a staff?
Kiss strong.
Strongman. Oh, and this. Oh, well. Appreciate the support. The comeback call. Thank you for the 10. This is for the Guppy support payments. Would love to see your own brand of booze. You could call it Lizard Liquor. Right now, we're working on Crab Cat Whiskey. And that looks like it's making a little progress. I peeked in on a meeting just this afternoon with Gino and Victoria talking to a distillery for Crab Cat Whiskey. So I don't know how long that will take, but that is going to be a real thing for you bourbon fans. I wanted to run this by you, Jenny. This is Heather's idea. Hear me out. Cute little guppy camel hybrids all over the back of a T-shirt that says, "Who's your daddy?" And then hecklefish on the front.
Hi, everyone. We have never introduced it into lore that Hecklefish and Gertie are romantically involved.
That's right. That's exactly what we said.
Sounds familiar.
That's what we said.
Yet they assume.
But
AJ, the people would like for you to go through and introduce everybody again because there's no names on the screen, so they don't know who everybody is.
All right, on base we got. Can you please state your name for the record and what you do?
Victoria, Director of Operations.
All right. Please state your name and what you do. All right. Gino, clearly not our audio engineer tonight. Who's that?
I'm Jen. I am Mrs. Y Files and the CEO.
Oh, sorry. It looks like we had a little glitch there. Who's this?
Hola, hola, we.
Hola, we sweep the floors. They let us on tonight. They said this. They don't pay us. They just give us views.
Gracias por your ayuda.
We're canceled.
Just kidding. We edit stuff sometimes.
Yes.
Those are the editors. So I mean, we brought in some new staff recently, and during a final interview, I told one of the girls, I said, "All right, look, you're going to hear a lot of racist Mexican jokes." She's like, "I said, wait. They're all made by a racist Mexican, not from us." So that's how it went.
Whoa. I don't know about racist. Just informed.
Fair enough.
Anyway,
Joke.
It's
a joke.
Yes, it's a joke. Clean el baño, por favor. Somebody said.
Right on it.
How much did they donate? That's the question.
Send me the address.
Yeah.
Listen, I pick up after these guys. They're not cleaning anything. Trust me.
Shots fired. Guilty.
Yes.
Paul is there for 1987, which happens to be the year of my birth. I feel so old at 36, and you seem younger than me in appearance. I have to remember your excess of wisdom. It's just clean living, Paul. Just have a bourbon every night. There's Lizzie for freedom. Keep your feet wet on the ground and keep reacting for. Okay, keep your feet on the ground and keep reaching for the stars. So wasn't that Casey Kasem?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
yes.
I think you should do a Casey Kasem top 10 Y Files countdown for New Year's Eve. That's a great idea.
Yeah, we had a patron, Gus, mention that would be a great idea to have everyone submit what they think is the top episode, and you count them down. And you're going to do a live on New Year's Day, right?
We have to be able to set up a poll on Discord, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I can do that. Maybe we'll do that.
Okay.
Ian saying AJ was not born in 87. You don't know. You don't know. But that's a great idea. So we'll get that set up on Mel's Hole #1, Moon #1. I have my favorites too. So we'll set that up on Discord. Just reading some of the Spanish coming Josh's way. Very funny. Especially since he doesn't speak Spanish. There's Travis. Thank you for the 20. I appreciate that. Plexi said, "Hey, would you care to expand on when your stance changed about younger drives possibly being reason behind the flood myth to now maybe a solar flare being the cause? No worries if not." It was mostly listening to Randall and Graham and Robert Schoch. Robert Schoch is the researcher who I don't want to say discovered because I don't know if that's true, but he at least made mainstream the erosion at the bottom of the Sphinx appears to be water erosion. I first heard that from Robert Schoch. Maybe John Anthony West is in that list somewhere as well. And Schoch is saying that he thinks it was a solar flare. One of the reasons is they're having difficulty finding the impact point. You know, they found a large impact crater in Greenland that could be a candidate for it. But one of the counter arguments is when there's a large impact, there's also a bit of a nuclear winter that makes everything colder. When in this case, everything got warm, and it got warm really, really fast without the cold period in advance. You know, so things got cold pretty fast, and then we had that last ice age, and then they got warm really fast. So it was a very strange period of geologic history. So solar flare seemed to make the most sense going by Schoch's research, but maybe I can go into that a little bit more on another episode. Paul says CIA signs AJ's paychecks. Still more honest than anyone else. They pay in cash. Gino Pacina's here for 10. Thanks for the call out. With my comment, you have awesome research team. We have the best research team in the business and the most handsome. Someone really like you guys. What's the matter? How dare you? How
dare you?
How dare you?
How dare you?
Is my mic working?
Yes.
Am I back? Hey,
now it's working aggressively.
Now that I'm back, can I just add one thing I was trying to add in a little earlier?
Absolutely. And there is Master C Boyd for 25. Discovered you this year. Loving it. My son loves to watch Hecklefish with me. Keep up the great content and happy holidays, everyone. Thanks, Master. And say hi to your boy for me. And Hecklefish says hi as well. Gino, what do you got?
You know, the Guppy Camel tie-in works very heavily with episode I've been proposing and strongly for the last few production meetings. That hasn't gotten put up there yet, but certainly works together with it.
It's actually on the calendar now, Gino. It's the second week of February.
Okay. You can't do you can't do this in broadcast. What are you talking about?
CRISPR.
Go ahead.
I've been proposing.
Succinctly tell the folks what CRISPR is.
Go, Gino.
Oh, I didn't know. I don't know how to do things succinctly, but CRISPR is gene editing done by people like you and me. So you want to put the hands of God together. You just, it's time to make some hybrids. And, a guppy camel hybrid might be, interesting. Swimming around the sea or walking around the desert. I'm interested.
The two extremes.
I mean, cryptids are number one on my list of things. So even though no one else likes cryptids, I want to see some walking, talking guppy camels.
He wants to see walking and talking guppy camels.
Walking, talking.
All right, there we go. So that's so gene editing and animal hybrids coming up. I think that's on the list. Laid Marida is not going to work. Geno editing, that's incorrect. It's got to be Marita Laid is the word.
That sounds like a Bond girl.
It does.
It does sound like a Bond girl.
Somebody said that in a super chat.
Write that down.
The next pond girl.
Guppy camels, that won't work. No Lady Marmalade, that won't work. But now that song is in my head. There's Chaos Fields for 5. I promote your channel on Facebook now as much as I can. Love your channel, Misty Fields. Thanks, Misty. Thanks for the promo.
Yes.
Our Facebook is run by Wild Vision. Is doing a great job on it. So if Facebook is your thing, there's always lots of new content on there every day on our Facebook page. And they do a nice job of cutting up the videos into smaller chunks. So if you don't want to sit for an hour-long episode, because nobody does, they'll put like the chapters out there alone. So a little easier to digest. There's Eugene Dodaro, having died twice. Coming back both times, I can tell you there is an afterlife and God exists. I'd love to tell you the story sometime if you ever do a near-death episode. Well, that's coming up very shortly, Eugene. So email your story in.
Or jump on Discord and tell it to me so I could relay it as we do any kind of lives.
Yes. The fat alien saying, I need to get laid, but that's not going to win. I'm sorry. Marital Band-Aid is incorrect.
That was actually this guy.
Marital Band-Aid.
Gavin just watched, loved the episode. I appreciate that, Gavin. No, Jen's not going to be a Bond girl. She's going to be a Bond villain. She's going to be Platypussy.
So AJ and I were having this discussion, and we said something about me being a pond girl, and AJ goes, "Well, you could be, one of the female Bond villains." And I said, "I know what that means. I know I'm too old to be a Bond girl. I'll be the Bond villain. That's fine." You don't have to be so dismissive about it.
Look, when they were casting like background actors for the last Magic Mike, I said, Jen, should I send in my stuff? And she's like, I don't think you don't really have time for that.
You're making that whole story up.
What I said was, you're too beautiful to be a Bond girl.
That's not what you said. You went, you like one of the Bond villain ladies. I know what that means.
Well, Octopussy was still hot. She was just milfy hot.
It's fine. It's fine. It didn't bother me at all.
Anyway, let's move on. Brandon Ferencamp is there for $5. New here. Love your show so much. I tell all my friends, what about an episode on DB Cooper? The only reason I haven't covered that, Brandon, it's because it's a great story, is it's been covered so much and so well by quite a few people. So I don't know if I can bring anything new to it, although there is a little bit of new information about DB Cooper out there. So I've been thinking about it. But as of now, I try to stay away from stories that have been done over and over and over again. MILF aid is not going to work, Julie. That's not the word. I'm sorry. There's Patriot Lady Biker for $50.
That's fantastic.
I just want to celebrate another day of swimming. I just want to celebrate another super chat. Put my faith in you humans, and you humans let me down. Then you give me a shekel and it turns my heckle frown upside down. I just want to celebrate, yeah. Another day of swimming.
Patriot Lady Biker says, how about a pity party for me? I had to endure a colonoscopy today. For reals, LOL.
Oh,
those are such a pain in the ass. I'm sorry to hear. I'm sorry to.
You're pretty funny for a human.
Sorry to hear that. And I don't want to hear that you had to endure it, because I'm due for one, and I'm putting it off. But
we'll get to it.
But Josh is trying to fit me into his schedule.
Figure it out.
So sorry to hear that, Patriot Lady Biker. Probably not going to be able to hop on the hog for a couple of days.
look,
What did I?
It's true.
What? It's a motorcycle. It's a motorcycle.
I got it. Let's do the drawing.
Yeah.
I mean, Victoria is the dirtiest one on this show.
Yeah, but she doesn't do it on purpose.
I think that's her shtick. All right. Marital aid, get that in right now. Marital aid. Marital aid. Oh, Pond villain idea right here. The colonoscoper.
Tell us what to edit. We'll do it.
Hello, Mr. Pond. I
No.
see.
No.
Smell
Mr.
evil.
Pond.
Okay.
All
do
right,
the drawing.
That'll be enough of that.
Yes.
There's Whitney, Sparkle, Vampire, Papa, Lawrence, Brandon, Angie, MX, Brett, Lone Star, Cat, Leslie, Thomas, Meow, Scorpio, Johnny, Carson Fee, Shelter Life, Tiffany Fox, BBO CRM is the winner.
Woo!
BBO CRM.
Killing it.
And I don't know what kind of avatar is that? Some type of flesh-eating virus?
I don't know,
Snake.
but somebody just said cold finger, and that made me almost.
That's funny.
Yeah, that's funny.
I think
Is it a snake?
I think it's a picture from Patriot Lady Biker's colonoscopy. Actually,
Yeah.
I think I see. Is there a polyp in there that needed to be removed? I'm not
That's
sure.
it.
I can't unsee that now.
All clear.
Well, congratulations, BBO CRM. You and your polyp have won.
What did I just do here?
Can I go ahead and tell them what to do?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we've got to tell them you can have one limb massaged by Victoria using a lubricant of your choice, but only one limb. And how does he get that limb rubbed, Victoria?
He gets his $50 gift certificate by coming to the Discord and entering in a help desk ticket with your name and email, and I'll get it right to you.
All right. Yeah. I don't know how to do a help desk ticket. We having a little tech issues over there or what?
You know how sometimes if you hit your Mac mouse pad wrong, it makes everything on the screen giant?
Oh, yes.
It did that to me, and then I couldn't shrink it back down, so I just had to leave and come back.
I'll teach you how. That happened to me so many times.
Perfect.
I figured out.
I just wrote 2 jokes in there, but I can't say them. Lisa Davis, 999. I absolutely love your show, and I feel so blessed to have found this channel. Hecklefish is my Xanax, so keep them coming. My PTSD from serving in Iraq just goes away while I watch your show. Well, thanks, Lisa. I'm sorry to hear that you're suffering from that.
Yes,
but I'm glad that we can bring a little joy into your life.
Thank you for your service.
Yes,
and if you follow this channel, you know that we're big military folks here. There is Crybaby 63. 63 happens to be the year of Jen's birth. Platypussy, here's more money. Noticed me. Crying. I love the show. Can't waiting for Gino, and I tipped an extra $1 for Jen. Love death, y'all. And Honest, my heroes, and will continue to support y'all any way I can.
Thank you. And 63 is not the year of my birth.
I do this stupid show just to make a little bread. You know it's not easy to keep my guppies fed. Bills up to here and I'm getting really stressed. I'm almost out of vodka, my car got repossessed. I come on the stream and I beg for some dough. You say you can't afford it, your money's kinda low. Come on, man, I ain't going for that. I just ain't going for that. Human, you got what I need. So hit that super chat. Click it just like that. Oh, human, you got what I need. I need a super chat. Click that super chat.
All right.
They've really like pimped out that studio.
They really have.
We're ready to get in the booth.
That's
Got
awesome.
that disc track.
That was Josh coming in hot from the vocal booth, huh?
It's all set up.
Josh used to be a singer, and that's something I'd like to hear.
Yeah,
me too.
I love mariachi music. I mean, it's my
Yeah, you play
my
trumpet.
favorite. I mean, it's so festive. Jen, could you go ahead and read this one for me?
Wilma Titscrew for $1.99. Oh, grow. I'm sorry. I misread the French.
She's French.
Wilma Titscrew. Sorry. Better? AJ always likes to have me read the dirty names because he thinks it's funny.
Hey, I have not seen Leave the World Behind yet. I've seen the trailer, and I am going to watch it, but I'm not looking forward to it.
Is it true that the executive producers are the Obamas?
Yep, that is true.
Well,
we can't even really get into it on this show. Marcus Coach Cock it's for $10. My wife has had a rough night. Just want you to say hi to Jesse. We love you guys. Y'all kick ass.
Hi, Jesse.
Hi, Jesse. I'm sorry you had a rough night.
Yes.
Hope it wasn't a colonoscopy. Those you want to get those behind you. Beats and Meats for $4.99. Have you seen the video that supposedly of Gilgamesh's perfectly preserved body? They said he was preserved in a type of aerogel, didn't decay at all. I have not seen that video or heard that story. I'm inclined to be skeptical of that one, but I'm going to look for that.
That's interesting.
Martin McGinnis for 5. I found you guys 3 months ago. Can't stop watching and spreading the word about you guys. Best part of my week. Thanks, Martin. I appreciate you spreading us out there like a virus. Julie Hall saying colonoscopies are delightful. Look, we don't kink shame here. You can do you, Julie. But now that Julie has said that, she's getting a lot of friend requests through the chat. Sorry, Bam. Marita Lade is not working anymore. Flaming Genius. That's not work. Colin says AJ's getting spanked tonight. Why? I don't. Why do I deserve a reward?
You don't.
New sacred cow is there for $20. AJ watching since the beginning of the year was the Grand Canyon Egyptian video. Oh, great. And loved every since. Subscribed on that vid. Loved ever since. Would like to be a part of the conspiracy theory of getting the weekly gauze.
Draws?
Gauze?
Draws?
I don't know, man. I'm lost on that one.
Maybe the chat knows, or if you're there, Sacred Cow, what we're missing. I mean, I'm happy to give you a gauze once a week.
You don't say that because you don't know what that means. You don't know what you're agreeing to.
Some people are saying he might have meant giveaways, weekly giveaways.
Well, that's what I'm saying, but it doesn't make sense.
Okay. Giveaways?
Oh, there was a conspiracy theory that they were fixed. I remember because we had a Patreon.
Yeah,
wasn't it Zeb?
It did seem like they were fixed when Patreons won both of those.
Right.
Yeah, big Patreons.
GAW giveaways.
Giveaways.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Look. My brain didn't get that one. Thank you, Nate.
Thank you for that. All right, we're at 2:32 on your clock. I'm going to give you guys a break. I'm going to burn through some of these super chats, and then we're going to call her a night. How's that sound?
Sounds great.
All right, there they go. But some of them might be back to say goodnight. Thanks again to everyone for super chatting tonight. I appreciate it. It helps cover all those people that you see on the screen. Shop.thewifiles.com is another great way to support the channel or become a Patreon member. We'd love to see you as a Patreon member. You can join the Discord for free, but through Discord as a Patreon member, you get 2 live streams a week that are just for members, and they're not crazy like this. Everyone's camera is on. I mean, if you want, you can ask questions of me and the entire team. We do those Thursday before the episode goes live, and again on Friday morning. So tomorrow morning we talk to everyone for an hour or 2. We hang out. It's a lot of fun, and it's a great way to keep us going. There's Grand Pie for $10. Love to hear more about the tribe that knew about Series B. There's more. I feel there is a lot more to the Dogon story, and they're very well covered. So that's an easy one to Google. Rocky Baroli for $9.99.
Yes, I could finally upgrade my vodka to Belvedere. No more swimming in the cheap stuff.
Hecklefish, where the hell's my mouse pad? My cat is ready to slide on you. Swim safe. Rocky, if you're asking where merch is, I don't know. But you can open a ticket on Discord or email us. We'll find it.
I wrote to Rocky. I already emailed Rocky. I have his mouse pad, I think, was intercepted by the lizard people, but I reprinted it for him. Another one should be out there within 10 days, but I did email him. So Rocky, check your email.
10 days. That's that. I don't know if that's going to be in time for Christmas. So we're blaming it on the lizard people.
Yeah, he ordered it a while back though. I don't think it was for a Christmas gift. He ordered it like 2 months ago. It just didn't get out there. I don't know why.
All right, there we go. Using the super chats to get customer support on merch. I don't mind it. Buckmaw for 10. Don't be hating on ugly people. Not that I would know anything about that. Great job once again. Well, thanks, Buckmaw, you handsome bastard. Buttered Toast for 5. Love the show, and I'm happy to support you, and we are happy to have your support. Live guests, I love it. Will Hecklefish get to ask questions? I can't wait for my Hecklefish plush to come. Thanks for ordering one of those. Those are a lot of fun. I'm assuming that you know what the Hecklefish plush is. It's basically a large version of that. But when you squeeze him, he goes through 10 of his catchphrases that were voted on by the community. And if you go to his link on the store, you can actually hear the stuff that he says. All right, just looking through the chat. Surfari is there, 999. AJ, what's your take on the burial granite coffins in the pyramids where, for resurrecting purposes, Freddie Silva touches on this with the Knights Templar. I haven't read about that. I didn't know that there were any coffins found in any pyramids. I know that in the King's Chamber, there is that one granite box, but it didn't. From what I know, there was no evidence of anything organic in there. It was about the right size to be a tomb, but no mummies were found in there. So I haven't read this, but that's really interesting. You have to check out what Freddie's talking about. Paul Carlson, we getting the next Moon episode soon. We're getting that soon. It's a lot of work. We're going to be talking about moon bases. And Tamber likes the Knights Templar. We're going to be covering them as well. The granite box housed the Ark. So that's a cool story. They were looted, but they existed. Could be true. Aaron Johnson, why hasn't anyone followed up on Tesla wireless energy? Oil. The answer is 3 letters. Oil. Jake Best for 10. I have a deep affinity for all of you, mostly me. I ask, how might I audition to write for your show where I may earn a wage to move from the wild into my mom's? You're going to move from the wild into your mom's? Must get $7 per week, negotiable. Well, I mean, if you could write episodes for $7 a week, Jake Best, you are hired. We're always looking for writing help. So if you go on the yfiles.com, there's a jobs link and you could submit there. And then someone will reach out to you and then ask you to submit a writing sample. And then we go from there. Bigfoot is real 69 giggity $4.99. My coworker showed me the channel about 4 months ago. Now I'm playing catch up on all the videos. Love the channel, videos, topics. Your coworker is awesome. And thank him, her, they, it for me. We appreciate that. Stephen Elmer $4.99. If I'm getting my meat dry rubbed, it's going to be by Gino.
I'm ready. Put me in, coach.
Put me in, coach. Put me in, coach. Okay. Vengeance G for 10. Any research, have you found any connections between the structures at Göbekli Tepe and Hagar Kim, Minjara, and Tarxian on Malta and Gozo? Age and design are similar. I haven't found any connection, but honestly, I'm not an archaeologist, so I haven't researched that. I focus only on Göbekli and Munkuklu and those in that area of Turkey, in the Cappadocia region. But it's interesting. I'm going to look into that. I mean, if we're talking islands, so that would be very interesting to find something very, very old on an island. I got to be careful. Wasabino 1999. I really like Pez dispensers. Could you imagine a limited edition of Hecklefish and Gertie Pez at Christmas? I think that is a great idea. Pez dispensers. Nicely done. Tanneru, an old girlfriend, used to ridicule me and make me out as a fool for talking about the Anunnaki. Another great show. Well, Tanneru, I'm sorry to hear that, but if it makes you feel any better, she got old and now she's fat. Buttered Toast for 10. Love you and the show. Hecklefish, ask Hecklefish to marry me. Flaming genius. Look, it's karma. What's goes around comes around, right? It's karma, baby. right? Tanneru's fine. He's better off this way.
He's better off.
Okay. You want to go tell her off, Tanneru. You find the nearest Ben and Jerry's. You give her a piece of your mind.
Move it along.
Oddgeist for $6.99 Canadian. I found the camel toes at the 1535 mark of today's video. Is that intentional? You have a good eye, my friend. You see much. Safari 1999. AJ, what is your take on the granite box in the pyramids resurrection purpose? So the same story. That's this is either a brand new story that's just hitting or the simulation. So I'm going to look into that, Safari, because it sounds like it'd be a great episode. There's Indigo Monk for 10. My father had me read the book of Enoch before middle school. The punishment was also because the angels taught humans technology. Also, shout out to my dad, R. Eaton. Hey, shout out, Dad. Yep, they taught the humans too much. Cosmic C for 10. Hey, I want to say thank you and keep rocking. Managed to watch every last one of your videos currently posted in the last 9 days. First finding, wish you nothing but great things. Then you are so sick of hearing my voice, but I do appreciate the support, Cosmic. Soraya, hey, make some videos on Elon Musk's space program's Mars project. If I can find a story, I will. Soraya, it'd be interesting. Super X Flare is headed this way. Let's visit Nibiru. Yep. If you have the means, pick up a generator. Mike Allen for 10. This channel makes all other channels look like amateur hour. Can you shout out my 3-year-old daughter, Ilyana? She loves watching the After Files every Thursday. Please, P.S. Tell her to go to bed.
Ilyana, it's time for bed. It's time for bed. So, good night, and thank you for watching so much.
That was your mom voice, wasn't it?
It was. That was my mom voice talking to a 3-year-old. Yeah.
And so, what's your mom voice talking to that idiot knucklehead when he was 15? It was different.
I don't even want to know. It was different. It was different.
Yeah. When Jake got in trouble, everybody in the house got quiet. Mallory for 20, another country. Oh, by the way, if this channel makes the episodes may look like other channels look like amateur hour, but this live stream, this live stream is amateur hour.
Do I watch the After Files live stream or do I punch myself in the face? Tough decision.
Mallory for 20, another contribution to support your greatness. We enjoy watching. Love our Hecklefish plushie too. Thank you, Tim and Mallory. Well, thanks, guys. I'm glad that you like that plushie. Simply Jane NDEs would be a great episode. That's coming in 2 weeks. You guys are such a breath of fresh air. Was really getting tired from the last decade of woke culture. I hear you. We stay away from that stuff. Do we discuss polar shifting? I have a couple of times. If you watch the Adam and Eve episode, I cover the polar shift. I do a whole chapter on what would actually happen if there was a geological shift. It would not be happy. That's the mom voice made you go clean the garage. Yup. Is Indigo Monk 6? That's the mark of the beast.
That's me in the fishbowl. That's me on the YouTube, begging you for money. I need to buy a little more booze, and I don't know if I can do it. Oh no, I need $10. I haven't got enough.
My father had me read the book of Enoch for me. Did this come in twice? They taught the humans technology. They certainly did. If that came in twice, Indigo, I appreciate that. Alex, when are you doing psychedelic episodes? Sooner than you think. It's on the short list. Probably, I would say, I don't know, for the end of the year, a couple of weeks. It's the short list. It's going to be pineal gland, DMT, but not druggy part of it. What fascinates me is the stoned ape theory, which I can't specifically say that in the show, but the theory that early hominids consumed psychedelics and that's what awakened human consciousness.
We're doing that episode the second week of January.
Okay, so that's coming right up.
Yeah.
All right. And for the premiere, will you be consuming any mushrooms?
No.
Maybe portobellos?
Maybe.
She prefers the portobellos to the golden teachers. Orcas can fly, $49.99. Have you looked into the Gilgamesh site and the Hillary Clinton connection? Freedom of Information Act shows she had an email regarding the archaeological site. I haven't heard that. But if she had an email, I mean, aren't those all gone? What?
Just moving along.
Oh, you trying to get us canceled, Chief?
Thank you. Thank you, Hectorfish.
You're absolutely right. She didn't destroy your emails. King Louis for 5. Have you done an episode on chemtrails? No, I have not. But I talked about them a little bit here and there. But maybe you can do a full one on that if I can find a story. Von Donks for 5 Canadian. Last live, I said Seth Rich, and you said call the tip line. You don't know who Seth Rich is. I don't know who Seth Rich is off the top of my head, but if you send it into the tip line, we will look into it. Remember, I've said this before. I'm not an expert on any of these topics. I'm not the alien guy. You know, I can't go on your conspiracy podcast and talk about stuff. I'm just I consider myself an entertainer first who does research. I'm just a guy who tells stories and talks to a fish. Gino looking for.
Yeah, and we can't do Seth Rich anyway. It's part of the political. Seth Rich was murdered, and the conspiracy or the story is whether or not what he was killed for, which we don't want to get into.
Okay. Those hardcore conspiracies we can do on the podcast. We'll do some of those. But if they have the political bent, I'm not going to do them. Even if I agree with your politics, I'm not going to do them. Trump is well, you see, even if I agree or disagree with your politics, thank you for the $49.99. I appreciate that super sticker. Manny Malo for 50 Canadian. In my estimation, the White House team has the right melange of charisma and hospitality. Nobody will actually have 3 million friends. I can't even make 10 happy, but you're mine. By the way, $25 goes to Gino. Wink.
Oh, I need some. That'll help me fill up my pipe.
Help me fill up my pipe. Well, I appreciate that. I haven't had a good melange since college.
That's not the same thing.
That's not what. Oh,
yeah.
A melange is an assortment.
Yes.
I was thinking. Right.
Yes, you were thinking of a different type of assortment.
Nicely put. Haunting Hollywood for 2. What is Philosopher's Stone? Weed break, pea break. It's a pea break. I did an episode on the Philosopher's Stone and how it can make you younger, it can heal everything, and if done perfectly, properly, correctly, can make you immortal. And the way to create the Philosopher's Stone, there's a whole process that's documented that you can find, but it involves a lot of urine. Like a lot. Oh, Gino wants to come back. And there he is.
Here I go. And also, the Philosopher's Stone was mentioned on Rogan's podcast by Post Malone. So if you watch that Post Malone episode, he mentions the Philosopher's Stone episode on it.
All right, there we go. Good plug for Rogan. He needed that. RCX for $19.99. Your discussion earlier tonight on the Afterlife takes me back to your episode on the Gateway Project. I agree. I wonder if AJ continued experimenting with it and everyone's thoughts on the absolute amazing episode tonight. We covered a lot of that tonight, RCX. I haven't continued with it just because I'm lazy that way, but I do believe a lot of of what comes out of the Monroe Institute. I appreciate this. Melissa Taylor for 5. Thanks for making a bad day better. You're very welcome. That's why we're here. That's my job. Kevin Farmer for 10. Thanks for everything, Wi-Fi's crew. You changed lives for the better. I hope so. So this next one, talking about whether Hecklefish and Gertie have an intimate relationship. Rican asks, maybe they just hump?
Comedy.
Holly Buckets, camel toe slippers, please. My brother and I watch every week from Minnesota and California. Thank you for everything. Hi, Johnny. Those slippers are definitely coming. Len for Guillaume, for Gion, 4999 with all the beard. Could I get a happy birthday wishes from the Wi-Fi's crew? Love you guys. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to
Happy birthday,
dear Len. Happy birthday to you.
Give yourself a birthday gift this year by going to cavemancoffeeco.com. Every day can be your birthday by going to cavemancoffeeco.com. Use code the Y-Files for 50% off.
No. 20%.
No.
60?
Try it. You never know.
You never know.
Try it.
Maybe in your simulation, there's a 50% off code.
I tease, but caveman coffee is delicious. I promise. Chastity Pilot, Pet Chastity P. Love the show, especially when doing an episode with the Bible. And it also, the ending was nice. Happy holidays. Well, thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it. There's Tyler Durden for $50.
You like this show? Send me some dough. You can super chat. I hope you know about that. There is one thing that I am sure of. You gotta tip me some more, human. Won't you tip me with some money? Yeah, fishy, fishy, fishy. Don't you know you gotta tip the fishy? Hey, tip the fishy. Tip the fishy tonight.
Conspiracy time. Do you think global warming is being done on purpose by the world governments to ease the world into a global flood? That way the solar flares do not cause such a dramatic change. Crazy thought. I do not believe that. I don't believe that the world governments have the power to raise the temperature enough to do that, or the power to lower it. There's Brutala. There's the Big B. Love Nathan on your team. One of the best dudes I know.
Tops. That's my best friend since 5th grade.
That's your best friend since 5th grade. Was he your first?
Let's go.
All right. What's his name? Brutalips?
Brutalitops.
Brutalitops.
You know.
Boy, that had to be strange to hear the 5th grade teachers try to pronounce it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, what's his real first name?
Oh, Christopher Rabe. Rabe
All
the
right.
Babe. That's what he tried to get his nickname to be in high school.
Rabe the Babe. It didn't take.
No. Did not take.
Did not take. Oh, sorry, but you'll always be a babe to me, Brutalitops. You sexy bastard. There's Buck Moss back again for 10, looking even handsomer than earlier. Thanks for using my image submission for the thumbnail. Another cracker this week for 2024. We'll get great. Yeah, the thumbnail, I wasn't really digging it, but Buck Maw came up with a great one. So the thumbnail on today's episode is thanks to Buck Maw. There's Doobsy for $13.99 Canadian. How about an update on another Art Bell story? Do you remember the guys who filmed Rods? Gino just brought up that just the other day. So maybe we'll do an episode on that. The Rods were always very interesting on Art's show. All right, just checking out the chat. Where I don't do coffee, I'll wait for the Hecklefish keychain. That's cool. I think they're called danglers now. They used to be called keychains. Now they're called danglers. John Wood says Buckmaw awesome, like the thumbnail. Yeah, I thought he did a great job. Not Jay Leno. Art Bell is alive. Ask me how. Put it in the chat. You know, he's one of those guys that if it turned out Art Bell's alive, I'd be like, okay, that tracks. Because how many times did he retire and disappear? And where is he? And now he's in the Philippines and he's back and then he's gone again. And then boy, I miss that man. Hecklefish does his own voice. Who does your voice? Rod's next. What's next? Orbs. I don't know. I'm not big into the orb stories.
I love it. Send this over the tip line.
No. We're gonna stick with Rod's. Thomas Reese is actually the best channel on YouTube. My first video was the one about Mars and NASA covering up Cydonia. Yeah, that was a fun one, Thomas. I'm glad that one brought you into the family. Sarah Shell, I think we need a Gertie plushie with long lashes, a fancy saddle blanket, and a teensy little fez for Hecklefish. My Hecklefish plushie is getting lonely. Do you love a little fez for him?
I love that. I love that idea.
All right, little fez. That's perfect.
Yes.
Sarah Shell, if you have any more merch ideas, make sure you send those in. That's brilliant. Christopher Christopher V. Any more info on the Ethiopian Orthodox Church 3,000 years? You know, we're coming up on the end of the stream, so I can't get into too much detail about it. But if you look into it, there's plenty of information on it. I first learned about the Ethiopian Orthodox Church from Graham Hancock. From maybe it was it Fingerprints of the Gods? I forget which one it is, but he believes that the Ark of the Covenant is in that church, Holy Church Mary of Zion in Aksum. He believes that the Ark is in there. So I thought that was a fascinating story. So that's how I knew about that stuff. So there's plenty of information out there to learn. And Graham is the one who brought that to mainstream, and now there's all kinds of documentaries on it. It's fascinating. I don't think the Ark is there though. There's no bigger Graham Hancock fan than me, but I don't think it's there. Whammy for 5. Check the 1973 Pascagoula UFO mystery for unique depictions of aliens and audio recorded of witnesses freaking out about it in the police office. Gino gave me a thumbs up. Jen's waving. No one wants me to wrap the show, but that's fine.
Just
what you got?
Don't talk about it. We may possibly have a Gino story hour coming on it. So yeah.
So just keep it moving.
Keep it moving.
If there's audio on it. No, that's perfect for Gino Story Hour. I mean, Cisco Grove, that was a Gino Story Hour story.
Right. And then
Gino got a big plug in that episode.
Yes.
There she goes. Very agreeable. Mark Beaumont is there. Hey, I found the channel this past spring. Now my wife Bree and I watch every week. Made a believer out of her. All right, Bree. Welcome to the Madhouse. See, you two are in each other's soul group. Treg Williams, 999. I just want to point out that Mike Turner from the 10th District in Ohio, who's trying to block the disclosures, is the same district Wright-Patterson is located. I didn't know that. But doesn't that make all the sense in the world? All the sense in the world. Wright-Patterson, if you don't know, is where Project Blue Book UFO sightings were dispatched out of Wright-Patterson. A lot of the Air Force, OSI, and all of that kind of stuff goes back to Wright-Patterson. Transcend the Monkey for $27.99. Love the show. Just ordered my plush Hecklefish, and I'm going to torment people with it. Please do. It will definitely torment people. Michael Fevers, thank you for the 10. Long Beach Airport changed 25 runways because of the magnetic shift in 2018. They are now 26L and 26R. WTF? I haven't heard that, Michael. That's interesting. There is Ari Signum for $99.99.
Can't you see me swimming here? I got guppy payments up the wazoo. I just don't know what to do. I need a lawyer or two. human, please tip. Tip. Go ahead and tip. I need you to tip. Tip. Human, please tip. Whoa, whoa. Who said that?
Deus Ex Wi-Fi's Bravo also just got my Hecklefish Mini. Christmas sweater, slippers, and cards are in transit. Please sign me up for the Victoria add-on.
Woo!
All right. All we need is a shoe size and a couple of close-up photos.
No.
All right. Thank you for grabbing all that stuff, Ari, and all the support. It really means a lot. I do my best to keep the prices low. It's a constant battle that I have with our providers and sometimes with the people you see here. We don't make very much money on the merch, and that's absolutely fine with me. What's important is that it gets in your guys' hands and more people have it and can enjoy it, and that we're not gouging you for profit on the merch. I don't think that's necessary. The best way to support is really just become a Patreon member for a couple of bucks. Ever hear the Dragonfly Ass Mouse House Imagineers? The drone sightings from back in the early 2000s. I was part of the DRT UFO research team, also NDE Survivor here. Well, tips line and or email Mouse House Imagineers and let us know about that. Or jump on Discord and find Gino and tell him your story. We'd love to hear about that. LS 420 Stoner 5 just for grins. Ever thought about covering that time the U.S. Air Force accidentally dropped 2 nukes on North Carolina? Hecklefish would have fun with that one. I mentioned it briefly in one episode that and that was a pretty close call. Like they could have gone off, those bombs, but they were recovered and everybody was okay. But I mentioned that in one episode. I'd love to do one on just all the times that the government almost killed us all. That I'd love to do that one, but I have a feeling that would be the one that gets me the knock on the door. Ethan Anderson, thank you for the 10. Have you ever heard or done an episode on the Law of One? It ties so many themes from the show together. I haven't, but send that in the tips line or email that over, and we'll definitely look into that. Well, that's 3:01. It's time to send everybody home. Victoria, thanks so much for your help tonight. We couldn't do this without you and the mods.
You're welcome.
All right. Boys down at the warehouse, you guys brought it tonight.
Hey, thanks for having us, y'all.
Having us.
All right. We'll see you tomorrow. I mean, they'll come in at some time, right? I mean,
stop it.
Gino's story hour was strong tonight. So thanks to you and Josh. Great work.
Thanks. One last thing for the 16,000 people still watching us. If you want to support us without even having to pay a dime, please go to Spotify and give us a review on our podcast or Apple iTunes, wherever you're listening to us. We love those. And I read every single one of them.
I appreciate that. I thought Gino was going to close it out with another caveman plug, and I was about to dump him off for it, but he did the right thing. Jennifer, thank you so much for your help tonight. Couldn't do this without you. She runs the whole show.
Night, everybody.
All right. Thanks to everyone who super chatted tonight. I think I got to everybody. If I didn't, I apologize. But the list that I have in front of me, we covered every super chat. I appreciate all that support. We couldn't do this without you. For buying the merch at shop.thewackfiles.com, we couldn't do it without that support. Patreon is a great way to support the channel, as well as little as $3 a month. You get all the things that you know that you get. So once again, thank you, and Hecklefish will sing you out.
And now the end is near, and so I face the final curtain. My friend, I'll say it clear, I'll state my case, of which I'm certain. I've lived a life that's full. I swam down each and every highway, and more, much more than this. I did it my way. I've loved, I've laughed and cried, I've had my fill, my share of losing. And now, as tears subside, I find it all. It's all so amusing to think I did all that. And may I say, not in a shy way. Oh no, not me. I did it my way. For what is a fish? What has he got? If not himself, then he has not to say the things he truly feels, and not the words of one who kneels. Our record shows I took the blows and did it my way. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. Let's hear it for the Wild Files House Band. You guys sounded great tonight. And take care of those waitresses, will you? All right. Everybody get home safe. This is Hecklefish. And you know what? I did it my